Vinicius Jr. has reportedly rejected Real Madrid's latest offer for a new contract. What does that mean? What's going to happen? It is apparently Madrid's final offer, according to Marca as well. Does that mean that the hope of Arsenal fans will come true, that Vinicius Jr. will eventually become an Arsenal player? We'll get into that. The big news about Bruno G: he's not going into training today. He's not linking up with Newcastle. He has until Monday to do so. Does that also mean that the transfer for Bruno G to Arsenal is about to go through? Many reports of a deal agreed, many reports of a fee from around 70 to 80 million being agreed. We will get into that as well, very much so. Like, will Bruno G finally get the bomber? Will he finally get the here we go this weekend? Also, Lewis Hall news is starting to break out into the atmosphere. Will he be a player that Manchester United finally get after being and ahhing about who to get, a left back or a left winger? It looks like the left back position is where Man United will go, and Lewis Hall is the number one target. Also, you got the likes of Bradley Barcola, you got the likes of Rodri, and maybe a little sprinkle of Newcastle stuff. But the big thing that we're going to be talking about is going to be Chelsea with Don, because we all know we want to hear what kind of spice he brings today with Chelsea as well. So we will get into all of that today on today's episode of Straight Facts. I'm joined by Tom, joined by Staffy. Don will be joining us in a moment as well. Hope you all guys are good. How are you guys doing? Let us know.
I'm all good.
Well, let's just address this. There's no Terry today. Which means congrats, guys. We're gonna have some proper talk today. I'm just joking. Big up there. I think he said he's on vacation. He's in Turkey apparently. So
yeah, Terry's been getting rinsed, man, about being a dictator on stream. You know what I mean? Mo and Hassam did the same thing.
Listen, like, I chose to not to go down to that route, but like, you know, like when you said dictator, all I could think of is like Terry Dictator is not here today, so we can actually have some proper football talk. I think Don is gonna have the time of his life today.
Oh yeah, hey, listen,
whenever he joins us,
he ain't gonna get gegenpressed for once. You know what I mean? Like, that's what he's used to every week. You know what I mean?
Me and Tom can sit here and not worry about. So, are you claiming that Arsenal or da 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 da? And he's like, "Oh, it's not what I said. So what I said, trying to bamboozle me."
Yeah, stop bamboozling the audience, bro. Stop
bamboozling. Try to weasel your way.
We're not gonna have our weekly 10-minute break where me and you just sit back in the chair and watch. No point in trying to say anything.
Then I go and message Tom on the side. I'm like, okay, how you doing? But big up to the audience, big up to everyone. A lot of football to talk about today.
Yeah, big up everyone in the chat. I hope everyone's doing well. Yeah, Terry will be back soon though. You know what I mean? The weekend's here. He'll be back on Monday. But for now, you've got me and the mandem, you got me and the boys holding it down for you guys. So make sure you are subscribing to the Football Terrace. We're on the road. Look at Terry's in the comments, by the way. He's in the chat and said he will be back. But all we need to do, you know, the World Cup animes that was going around during the World Cup with Mbappe and like the dictator. We need one for Terry.
I did the one of Terry last season. I still have it. I just have to look.
Yeah, but we need an anime, like an actual anime fight, like
like a video.
Little video of Terry. That's what we need.
Yeah, we'll do it. Like Terry walking into the locker room yelling at Don.
Yeah, in Japanese as well. It has to be in Japanese. You know what I mean?
Me and you just gonna be background characters and that of like blinking your missing in the background
of like Ronaldo yelling at the players, and someone's like recording like selfie angle. That's gonna be me and you, like one of us holding the phone.
Yeah, Terry saying they might be impressed. These man. Yeah, listen, but you gegenpress though. Like, it's not like a one man press. You gegenpress. But yeah, subscribe to the Football Terrace, man, guys. We're almost at the road. We're on the road to 500k. We're almost there, so we just need your support in doing that. Also, like the stream right now if you haven't done so already, and share this out to all the people who are not watching the stream right now. So, guys, listen, we can't start with Chelsea because Don isn't here, and he needs to answer for his club's crimes. I know, because they actually legit got caught cheating again, or they got charged for cheating again. But we're not even talking about that. We're talking about Henderson joining his club. But until Don gets here, it is time to talk about Manchester United because we had some.
Wait, KJK, let me interject, if I may. I know we're going to talk about United, but I think we directly need to talk about Newcastle in relation to United. So that's going to be a good transition. Because I know you want to speak about Lewis Hall. I'm sure the audience wants us to speak about Lewis Hall. So we'll speak about Lewis Hall. But slightly before that, I think we need to talk about just Newcastle as a club. I know we don't look at them as a traditional top six. So some people might be less interested. But I think because of what is going on this whole summer for them, we need to talk about them. Because I know we're talking about Bruno G potentially going to Arsenal, maybe a hijack of Chelsea, but he's definitely not. He's definitely not staying at Newcastle. With all the news that coming out today that he's not going to training or traveling and all that stuff. Lewis Hall, as we said, we'll talk about. But let's talk about the full picture for Newcastle. Can anyone here and in the audience let me know as well? Can anyone remember a summer where a team? I don't think Newcastle's a top 6 team, but I would put them in the top half.
They've been on the club. They've been
they're one of the bigger clubs. So I'm not gonna treat them as like they're a nobody in the league, but they're one of the bigger clubs. Can you remember a club with at least that stature going through a summer where they get absolutely decimated? I mean, I think it started last summer with you taking Isak off them, Tom. So if you want credit for who started this,
we were the catalyst behind
I guess we got to give you guys the credit for starting it, but you started a summer early. But look at their summer, bro. Their summer, I honestly, if I'm a Newcastle fan, I'm contemplating if I even want to watch football anymore. Because the way their team got gutted, all their best players are gone or going, and to the point that their manager had to walk because of all the sales and just the lack of seriousness that they've been having this summer going into next season. I honestly can't recall one team that got absolutely gutted like that. I don't know about you guys.
I can't either. I mean, because what you're bearing in mind with Newcastle and why I think it's so big with Newcastle is it's the project. It's not like we're seeing Jacob Murphy or Fabian Shaw, the guys who've been here for years. We're seeing the poster boys of Newcastle's Saudi project, the poster boys of this new era for Newcastle, all leave the club within 12 months. If you go and think through the first 3 summers of Newcastle's time, which is when I think the project was really sort of on its way because people didn't know what it really was and they weren't being hit by the financial rules. Who were the marquee signings? It was Bruno G, it was Tonali, Isak, Gordon, and Botman, I think. Now, Botman's injured all the time, and the other 4 have all gone in the same period of 12 months. Who's left from that project? We're talking Lewis Hall. He might be going. The only guys that... and you look at where they're trying to replace them with, who they're trying to replace them with. We're talking... They've bought 5 20-year-olds. I don't know who 3 of them are. I know who Basil Manatore is. He's not a well beater yet. He's got a lot of. He's still quite raw as a footballer. There's still a lot to work on there. I don't know the AS Monaco player they bought. I don't know the goalkeeper they bought. I don't know the Ajax midfielder they bought. They're buying all these young players who are gonna need time to even develop. And then what's that gonna be like for? Because we haven't mentioned all this. I wonder what Tino Livramento's thinking. Because he's been one who's been angling for a move for ages. He done his calf at the World Cup. He's injured.
No, he's pissed. That's what he is. He's thinking, why am I so damn injury prone? Because this was the summer to leave.
But you're looking at what Newcastle had, I'd say 2 years ago, when they had Gordon, Isak, Murphy, Tonali, Joe Linton, Bruno G. They were a horrible team to play against. And now we're going into this season with Elanga, Walter Marder.
No. Walter Marder's leaving on loan. Remember that.
Oh, is he? So it's Elanga, Wissa. In fact, don't even Wissa. It's Asula. Elanga, Asula, Torre, and 3 literal children in the midfield.
It's pretty bad, Tom.
It's looking
because we used to. St. James's Park was a scary place to go with that team. They could hit you on the counter attack, this, that, and the other. I'm not scared of that. And then to cap it all off, Eddie Howe, with about 3 weeks to go before the season, went, "That's me done. You're selling everyone. That's me done." And apparently he wanted to do that a month ago, and he went, "No, I'll wait. I'll let the club get more stable." And all they've done is just go, "You're losing."
I think he tried to give it a chance, see how the summer goes, and the summer couldn't have gotten worse. Let me remind you, they also tried to get Minzambi after. I'll be honest, he had a very good World Cup campaign as well. And then they got hijacked by Aston Villa of all clubs. They didn't get hijacked by a top club. Go ahead.
They tried to get James Trafford as well. That deal fell through because apparently for Newcastle fans there was something to do with the buyout clause and buyback clause to Man City, and they didn't like that. Blah, blah, blah. But Leeds ended up doing it, so they lost out to Aston Villa. They lost out to Leeds. Obviously, we know what happened last summer.
Lost out to us again with Munoz.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yes.
They got hijacked for Munoz as well in that because that one came out of nowhere.
It's peak, bro. The amount of players that they missed out on, their gaffer leaving, and all the players that they left. I mean, we were just mentioning them, Tom, and we're gonna mention the two now. I guess this is a good transition to talk about them. But like losing Tonali, losing Dubravka, who I guess he's a backup goalkeeper. Losing Dubravka, losing. Help me with some names.
Gordon went to Barca. Bruno
Gordon, thank you.
To Arsenal. Isak to us last season.
It's just, bro.
I mean, Joe Linton's also handling a transfer request.
Joe Linton,
he needs to go. And listen, if he goes, he's like the kind of like the heart and soul of that rebuild because he was there through their so-called banter era before they became a serious club. You know what I'm saying? The takeover and all that. Mm-hmm. And for him to go full circle of like being there in the dumps, going up and then going back to the dumps, I think it's crazy. And I think this is a perfect chance for me to say this. Lewis Hall, I don't know what power you possess, but if you can force a move out of that club, go ahead and do that because Man United are waiting for you. Look at everyone around you, learn from your elders, learn from your captain in Bruno G, and tell Newcastle, hey, even though Eddie Howe is gone, who I personally, not me personally, him personally, had issues with because he wasn't playing him and was playing Dan Burn over him, don't let that fool you and be like, oh, new manager's coming in, I'm going to play more games. Don't worry about that. Come to Man United. Look at everyone who jumped ships and went to big top 6 clubs and do the same thing. You don't waste your time over there. Come to Man United, play Champions League football. You got a left back role that's ready for you. You're the future of this club if you come in. Man United desperately need a new left back anyways. We haven't signed a young and upcoming left back, a serious one, since we signed Luke Shaw over a decade ago. Let's go ahead and do that. We need you at this club. This is going to be the perfect move for him. And hell, even if he doesn't do that, Chelsea still have interest for him. That would still be a good move for him. Regardless of where he goes, don't stay at Newcastle.
He can't do that. There's no appeal to staying at Newcastle now for Lewis Hall. At least when the project still looked all right, it was like Newcastle could do something. They could get Champions League. They could put together a decent club. You can put yourself in the shop window and develop. Now he's going to be one of the experienced heads. He's one of the guys these youngsters will turn to and go, what do we do in this situation? That's not the environment you should be going into right now. Lewis Hall needs to be looking at Man United or Chelsea and going, that's my next step. I need to go find my way to a top club where I can make that spot my own for the next 5 years. And I wonder whether he'd go back to Chelsea after the way they handled him the first time.
Yeah, that Lewis Hall's situation is very interesting because these are the reports that came out today. There's two conflicting reports that came in within an hour of each other, right? So you got first one's by Daniel Kahn. I think he does stuff for Sky Sports potentially. But he's a Sky Sports Man United reporter who he said that Man United are exploring a move for Lewis Hall and are working on what a deal would look like for the player. Cool. Obviously, Man United fans getting excited. However, Simon Jones from the Daily Mail has said Manchester United remain appreciative of Lewis Hall, but acknowledge it would be difficult to pull the transfer off. So you got two conflicting reports there. Lewis Hall is he clearly is going to be key in this whole thing where he has to put a transfer request in or make sure that it's known that he wants to leave the club. My question for you, Staffy, is can you see Man United actually getting this done? Because a load of Man United fans are this summer window are not happy with the progress. It's been slow. It's been silent and we're not used to that. So do you think this is a move that Man United would actually go for?
Yeah, I think the summer is a little bit underwhelming. I don't think it's as disastrous as some United fans are making it out to seem. Because I rate our squad a little bit more than others. But I do see us pulling this off. I don't think we spent a lot this summer. I don't think we will be spending a lot. So you still have a lot of cash to use. And I look at the priority positions. I do see big up Don. I do see us maybe meeting whatever the asking price is going to be for him. And I do think it's a position that we need to prioritize, and we want to just get someone in, as I said, that's going to be here for the next few years anyways. Lewis Hall at his age and what we currently have in left back, it's perfect for him to come in, slot in. That's his position, and that's your position for the next few years. Very talented, very technical, and funny enough, I was actually like doing. I won't do what Don says, and it's like, oh, it's doing my homework, doing my research. But I was like looking a little bit into our left back and our left hand position in general, and for what we need, especially in the final third, because he's also an attacking left back, someone who can go and give you just something in that final third, which you don't have currently. We don't have an overlapping fullback. We don't have Luke Shaw at that age where he can just have that engine of going up and down the whole game, overlapping, putting in these crosses. It's something I think we lacked last season. And I think if he comes in, he brings in a different element that we don't have. And I think you're a United fan, KJ, but if you ask most United fans, they'll tell you that arguably our right-hand side last season was a lot better than our left-hand side. And I think that was one of the main reasons. So in a summer where I don't think we're going to invest in a new left wing for many reasons, if you can go ahead and secure a left back for the future and for the present, I think it would be a great signing. How much do I value him at? I don't know, but whatever it costs, even if it costs about 60 million, I still think that would be a good deal, and I would still go ahead and do it. And at a time where Newcastle are clearly sinking and everyone's jumping ship, I think it's the perfect time to pounce on this. So I hope United do it, and I do think United will do it.
I would personally, I'd actually pay 60 million for Lewis Hall. I think that's
you would or you wouldn't.
I would do it. Is it the price I would like to get him for? No, I think around 45, 50 would be the perfect number. But people are telling me the market's the market and the way things are going. So 60 million for Lewis Hall, who's got a Premier League experience, he's got Champions League experience. He's clearly one of the best left backs in the league. I'm taking that. I'm 100% taking.
I don't know if you also saw Newcastle. Apparently, there was links coming out that Newcastle are pursuing Anthony Robinson. So
that account was it from that? What's his name now?
I'd have to go back and look.
Well, yeah, that account I don't think is real. I don't think that account is real. That started to put that out there. But it would make sense.
I don't think that lines up with, because to me, this has been like the end of Newcastle's project or phase one of their project, attempt one of their project. It doesn't make sense to me that they go buy a 28-year-old, 29-year-old when the rest of the signings are about a new model.
Well, they need experience though, Tom. They do. They're gonna need experience because all the experience is leaving.
Probably, yeah. But I think that Newcastle's model now is to embrace being a selling club. I think that with the previous era of the project, it was about trying to establish themselves, and they couldn't bypass that sort of stigma of becoming a selling club because they couldn't get over the hump. So I think they're now trying to go in a different direction. I don't think Anthony Robinson makes the sense there. With Hall, I mean, it makes complete sense for United. 60 million is a lot of money in any other window but this one, when that he's half the price of Elliot Anderson. Is he half the player of Elliot Anderson? He's half the price of Morgan Rogers. Is he half the player of Morgan Rogers? And the thing for me with Lewis Hall is you're buying, not only is he a really good left back now, which he is, you're buying someone who's got a decade ahead of them. He's got a decade ahead of him in terms of what he can do in the Premier League. So it's a long-term investment as well. So I think it just makes complete sense. And every team that needs a left back should be all over Lewis Hall. He should be the number one target. Plans should change for teams who need a left back if that's not already the priority. They need to do everything they can to get Lewis Hall in, because it's the most sure option you could get for that position for the next 4 years. I don't think you're going to see a better left back on the market for that price in the next 3-4 years.
No, honestly, like Man United need to at least try. If we don't try, that's going to make me upset. I don't know if we'll be able to do it, because if he's available, Man United are not going to be the only team that are going to be wanting him. 100%. Chelsea will be in for him because they need a new left back. But we'll get into that in a moment. We've got Don here. He's currently doing something here. But
by the way, breaking
Don
news.
has arrived. But yeah, literally, I was gonna say that as well. I wish Don was available for this because he is gonna love this news. He is gonna love this news, guys. Make sure you smash that like button, subscribe to the Football Terrace. We got a couple of super chats to go to before we go into the breaking news about Chelsea. And also remember, we will be talking about the big Vinicius Jr. news. Has he rejected the latest contract offer from Real Madrid? Does this open the door for Arsenal? We'll be getting into all of that later in the show. First super chat here is from Daly. He says, can we talk about why this has happened to Newcastle? I think we all explained it just there, like recently. There,
talking about why, not what happened. Like, I think he wants to talk about like
the why is FFP, but I also think it's a case of trying to skip steps. I think Newcastle end up getting themselves into the FFP trouble with trying to skip steps, and I also think that whether they moan about FFP or not, when you're buying Voltemade and Wissa, when you're making bad purchases, when you get the FFP room, it's your own doing. Alanga's not been a good buy. Voltemade had a good start, but he's not been a good buy. This has been an awful buy. So when you're sitting there and saying, why has this happened? Yes, the rules have constrained Newcastle a bit, but they've not helped themselves when they've had the opportunity to fix it.
Yeah, 100%. And also, we got a comment here. We can't hear you, by the way, Don. I don't know if your mic is
I thought he was on the phone or something.
Yeah, I thought he was on the phone too. He said he needed to do something. That's why I just didn't say anything. But yeah, we also got Casey saying PIF announced a scale back from the international sports investment in 2026. Global issues change priorities, but they won't sell cheap. They have announced that, but I don't think Newcastle was a part of that. I think it was other investments they said that they were scaling back from. But yeah, that is true. But you know what? Yeah, I wish Don was here because we're gonna give him a sting, guys. We're going to give the sting for Don because this is probably one of the happiest days of his life. Let's go. Utd Mudryk is back, baby. Utd Mudryk has now been cleared to play again. He's no longer banned. He will be joining up with the Chelsea squad for preseason while they're on tour. Ladies and gentlemen, one of the greatest wingers we've ever seen. The winger that changed Don's life. Yeah. The winger that changed Don's life is now back. He's back in the fold. Mudryk is unbanned and is ready to play. Don,
come on, man.
Come tell
us. We're fresh home out of Belmarsh. You know what I'm saying, bro? Fresh home out of Pentonville, yeah? You know what I mean? Hopefully this guy can still kick a football. I've been seeing him doing some personal training, but he's gonna have to, do a lot of fitness, man. But hey, I'm happy, man. I can't lie. I'm happy, man. You don't know my thoughts on what I think of the guy. I'm just hoping now that he'll be in a proper environment where he can actually learn. You know what I'm saying? Have Rodgers in front of him. Gittins is still there. I've been telling you lot for a while, bro. Like, we ain't signed a better left winger than this Mudryk guy. And I told you lot, when he got banned, you're gonna see some Chelsea fans saying we miss him. And that's exactly what happened, bro. So I don't know the ins and outs of what happened with my man, but I'm just happy to see him here, innit? Because I can see the potential, and hopefully Xabi can see it too, and bring it out of him, bro.
Wait, Don, so what are we saying? Mudryk is back in the same summer that Martinelli might be sold, so you won the debate?
No.
Terry was wrong all along.
Terry, seeing this, you've been proven wrong.
Told me to send him over there. I'm not sending him over there, bro. I've got my stock still intact. Yeah, they're still intact in it. And he's got what? He's got like another 5 years left on his contract.
but Don, I get you're raving and you're happy, and the way you're talking about potential, the way you're talking about potential, it makes it sound like he was banned at 80 and he's back at 21. The guy is 25,
bro. His age is irrelevant. Go check his experience before he came to England, bro. The guy didn't even play.
How long has he been for, Don? Is it been 2 years?
Since 2024,
yeah, bro. December 2020. It's like a couple months shy of 2 years,
bro. Okay, so under 2 years. He's been out for a minute, but he's joining up with the squad in Hong Kong in the tour, innit? Yeah. So let's see how.
Let me give you a take on this. I actually have a hot take on this. It might sound like a hot take. I don't think it should be. I actually think this is a good move for Chelsea, and I'll tell you why. I think this is the perfect time for someone like him to rejoin the squad, and it's mainly because of Xabi Alonso. I think I get what KJ's saying. Being out, not playing football for about 2 years, there's going to be a lot of rust. He hasn't been living 18 months outside of a normal football routine where you're on a squad and on a team. Of course, it's going to take time to get back to it. But 25 is a very good age, so that's fine. But I look at it, and I look at Xabi Alonso, and I look at potential how they could play, especially if they play a back three at times. I remember what he did with Frimpong. And I feel like if you can use someone like him to a similar role like that, where your pace is being relied on and you're basically being an engine on that wing going up and down, I'll be honest, bro. I do see, in a way, Xabi Alonso could kind of utilize him in this team. Whether he progresses him to be one of the top players or top wingers, I should say, in the league, I'm not going to make any of these claims. But I think if there's anyone to take over Mudryk right now, maybe do something with him, I do kind of trust Xabi Alonso with it. I can't lie.
Yeah, and the thing is about it, Staffy, right? Where we've got Rodgers there as well, like I said, we're not having to just, there's not a lot of pressure on my man to be the main guy, bro. Because the whole time he's been at Chelsea, he had that pressure of you're meant to be the guy starting on the left for us. You know what I'm saying? Whereas now he's actually got someone to learn ahead of him. And bro, just before he got banned, Maresca was starting to get a tune out of this guy, man. And then all of a sudden he gets banned. You know what I mean? So for me, I've been consistent about Mudryk for years, bro. Like, people always just look at the clips of man banging the ball, over the bar, flying and that, where the ball flies off of him. They never clip up the good things he was doing. Because he was creating chances.
Because they were in the Conference League.
You know what I'm saying?
Against
Tom, before you come in, bro, it wasn't just the Conference League he was doing this, bro. I was seeing this guy
as well.
I was seeing this guy creating for people in the Prem, like people like Jackson, people like Gallagher, and they're missing these chances, bro. Blatant chances that should be buried, right? There was a point in the season where only Cole Palmer was creating more chances per 90, bro. You know what I'm saying? So you can believe what you want to believe about Mudryk, but no one's gonna gaslight me with the good things I was seeing him doing on the pitch.
Done.
I'm the one who feels like I'm getting gassed about Mykhailo Mudryk and his impact he's going to have.
You can believe that. You can believe that, bro. I know what I was watching.
But it's been 2 years, Don, since he's been suspended. He hasn't played in that time, so you got he can't even improve as a footballer.
That's a different conversation. That's a different conversation.
It's the only conversation to have.
That's what Tom likes to do. That's what Tom likes to do. Once you've debunked one point, he moves on to another point. That's what he does.
No, because guess what, Don? I can make a point which has multiple facets to it. You don't have to argue each point, because guess what? The next thing I'm going to say is you've bought players in those 2 years who will play ahead of him. So you're saying on.
Let him get his time back into the team, bro. I don't care.
Wait. So here's the thing.
What's with the face in the hand? No, hold on. What's with the face in the hands, bro? What have I said? That's fine.
He hasn't played. Okay, listen. He hasn't played for 2
Why are
years.
you acting like I'm saying he's going to come into the 11?
No,
I haven't said any of that.
I don't know when he's going to play.
Let's wait and see. We don't need to depend on him, bro.
He's going. Here's the thing, Don. He hasn't played for 2 years. You've got players who are better than him, i.e., Rodgers. Ahead of him. Gittins is probably ahead of him as well because he's been actually playing football.
He is.
He's not going to play for. Do you know he's not going to play for Chelsea this year?
Bro, let's wait and see.
No, he's not.
Wait, guys, one second.
Let's not stop there as well. They've just brought Quenda in this summer as well. Quenda's going to play.
Quenda's more of a right winger.
So Tom, let's talk about positions. Let's talk about these positions.
Play on the left at times.
You didn't even know Quenda's more of a right winger.
He can play both sides.
Go on, Staffy.
So let's talk about these positions, and let's talk about specifically about wingers / wingbacks, because I still don't know how much are you guys going to be using a back four or a back three. But I'm looking at the wide positions, and when I say wide positions, I'm not including Rodgers and Palmer because I feel like their roles will be a little bit more central. So I'm looking at just pure wide players. Garnacho left, okay? So they only have Gittins on one side, Quanda just joined, and Neto. Don, is there any more names that I'm missing?
Neto and
Esteval, sorry. So that's
Esteval, Neto, and Quenda are mainly for the right. On the left right now is Rodgers and Gittins. And with Rodgers, by the way, he might be used more central than used on the left.
That's what I said.
Left wing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's
because I believe in a back three system, Rodgers won't be wide.
There's only Gittins on the left who's an actual direct winger like a Mudryk.
So he's coming into a 4 to 5 man rotation. I don't think there's anything to look at and worry about when he's not going to come in and play any major role. As I said, it depends on what Xabi Alonso is going to be able to make out of him. Because let's get this straight as well. He's been suspended for about 2 years, but it's not a situation like Pogba because Pogba was injured. The reason Pogba was injured, was out for that long, is because he was injured and he ended up taking testosterone or whatever, like an overdose, or whatever it was. But it was mainly to heal an injury. Mudryk is not coming off any injuries. He hasn't been out with years and years of recurring injuries anyways. So I'm looking at him in a different situation. At least I know he's going to be fit. Now, his level of rustiness, because of being away from the pitch, and how he's going to play any type of role in this team, I agree with you. That's remained to be seen, if there is even one. But I'm just looking at it, and I'm like, to me, and I know people hate when people say this, it just feels like a new signing. Just an extra body that has been added, and it costs you nothing because you didn't actually pay money to sign him. It's just reinforcement that came out of nowhere. So I honestly don't see the negatives of this.
If that's the case, you got to treat him like a youth player because
he's not a youth player though.
He's not a youth player. But the way he's away from the game long enough, he's going to be super rusty. His education.
Being rusty and being youthful is different though, KJ.
But we don't know the level.
But he's both. He was both.
I'm not saying he can never have a role at Chelsea again, but I'm saying this season, you're not going to see anything. He's going to go out on loan. That's the smartest thing.
Chelsea if he does, then this conversation is irrelevant. But we're talking about him if he joins the squad. I see more positives than negatives. I'm sorry that people want me to shit on it, be like, haha, Mudryk is back. What a clown club. I just don't think that's the situation.
I'm not saying that. I'm just talking about
not you necessarily.
Yeah. But like,
the thing is, we just have to wait and see. We don't even know what shape Xabi's gonna go with, most likely, bro. We don't even know. You know what I mean? So let's wait and see. But me, I'm just happy that man's not walking into a club right now where we're looking at him and we're having to depend on him. Like, yo, Mudryk, you need to be the game changer on that left, bro. Like, bro, we've got some options there. And for me, he's always been a good option for the team. And like I said at the beginning, if you went to Arsenal, you would have been starting on that left in no time, bro. Arteta would have actually coached this guy properly, right? Man's had like what, 6 managers at Chelsea, bro. Yeah, you know how mad that is.
Yeah, I'm not
for a guy that barely played any professional games.
I'm not going to dispute that in terms of the manager point. The environment at Chelsea has not been great. But talking about options, we're going to talk about some other options that Chelsea have got. We've got some couple of super chats related to this. You've got Blaze here saying we're back to pretending to rate Mudryk again. Yay. And
I triple down, double down on my Mudryk take all the time, bro. You know what I'm saying?
And DK has said, my star boy is back. Rogers, Gittins, pack your bag.
Look at the duality. Someone called them shit, and someone said my star boy is back.
He's like Marmite. He's like Marmite in the fan base, bro. Honestly,
he is. We'll see. We will see how the Mudryk development goes for this season. Someone said, does he get his 10 back? Yeah, he ain't ripping that palm 10 back.
You know what? That's a good question. He's not getting
he'll probably get like 47 or something random, you know what I mean? Something like that. Anyway, talking about options, we need to get into this. Remember to subscribe to the Football Terrace. We will be talking Vini Jr. in a moment, but we need to get into this. Donald, we need to chat about some new signings for Chelsea, bro. You know what I'm saying? We need to talk.
Thomas, talk to me about the ban. I thought you're going to talk to me straight about the suspended ban and that, bro.
Oh no, you've been getting banned and fined all over the place. Tom, you're on mute, by the way. Your mic's not.
We need to talk about Brian, mate. We need to talk about Brian. Brian in midfield. Jordan, Brian, Henderson. We need to talk about Brian in midfield.
I don't know what Brian and Danny. You man are trying to
talk about Brian. We're talking about Danny and Brian because you this week in the group chat said that the signings you are making are yuck on the pitch and not yuck off the pitch. So why are you signing players if you don't want them to play? Why not go get coaches?
Tom,
why not?
Tom, let me ask you a question, Tom.
Why are you signing players who you don't want to see on the pitch?
Tom, let me ask you a question. Let me tell you something, bro. My midfield and your midfield ain't the same, bro. Yeah? Henderson coming into my midfield ain't no type of rebuild for our midfield physically on the pitch. We've already got options in the midfield, bro. Mine and your midfield ain't the same, Tom. So you getting Henderson back at your club. You getting Henderson. Hold on, bro.
How are you trying to put this on me?
Let me finish, bro. Let me finish. Let me finish. Okay, whatever you want to say about getting rid of him doesn't change the fact that your club, right, your midfield is horrendous. That depth in that midfield is shocking. You haven't even got a DM. You haven't even got a DM, Tom. You've got a DM that wears fucking gum shields, bro, and they're playing football. What are we doing here?
And
right?
he's better than Henderson.
What are we doing here? Regardless of him being better than Henderson, the point that I'm making is
I'm happy to see all my midfielders
Henderson
on the
going
pitch.
to your club. Henderson going to your club is closer to starting than starting at my club. Yeah.
Are you saying club like that?
Yes, he is. Yeah.
No, he isn't.
You know what I mean? So let me just tell you something. Let me just tell you something, Tom. Let me just tell you something, bro. That guy is coming to do a super nanny thing. Yeah. Super nanny, bro. You know, super nanny used to go to the yard for a few weeks. She'll be there. She'll be looking at the kids. She'll
so
be
you're buying people who you don't want to play?
Let me
What
finish.
is this transfer strategy? You're buying people.
Let me finish. Yeah?
Tom, let him land the team.
You're a little bit irate, Tom. You know what I'm saying, bro? I'm gonna have to get you some aircon for Christmas because you
look at
cool
this
down,
man.
my friend. Yeah.
Look at this.
Sit down and listen to what he is.
He's trying to make out that he wants
Sit down
Henderson.
and listen to what he is, bro. Because you're a little bit irate. Yeah, you're moving a little bit sketchy over there. Maybe because we've got Alonso, right? Maybe because we're getting the greatest captain.
We're finishing above you like easy, nobody. You're playing Hendo. Why am I asked?
Tom, let Donald finish.
Guys, I know if Terry was here, he'd say this. Don't talk over each other so the audience can hear.
Yeah, Tom, let him finish his thing.
He keeps cutting me off. Yeah. I told you, I said Jordan Henderson is being signed to be a super nanny to help these young delinquents, bro. Yeah? I've spoken to you, man, about these young delinquents and their red cards. Thinking they can go to tape mid-season, bro. Yeah? Thinking they can come to training, thinking they can, put their head down during matches and that, bro. Henderson is there to observe like super nanny, bro. Super nanny used to make sure the kids, what time do these kids go to bed? Are they doing their homework? Yeah? Are they talking back to mum and dad? Yeah? And then if they are doing those things, she would make sure that she patterns them, bro. And then guess what? After 6 weeks, she's gone out that bitch. Yeah? That's what Henderson's gonna be, bro. Man's just gonna be there to help these young delinquents get back into check and help change the culture at this club. Yeah? What you need to be thinking about, Tom, is making sure that this guy doesn't come here and overturn things and we start winning. Yeah? Because me and you, my friend, we've got a bit of history, mate. Yeah? Yeah, I know you're quite, you might not remember that, but the Champions League games and all of these things, bro. How you helped, your club actually helped.
Why are you going on about 2008?
Yes, we've got history, Tom. We've got history. You see the slip? Gerard's slip, bro.
What does this have to do with you signing Henderson now?
Let me finish. My point is, if Henderson comes to Chelsea and helps us, get on track to start winning and competing again, bro, that's another thing we've got against your club, bro. Yeah? Another thing that we've got against your club, bro. Your greatest captain coming to the ops and help change our fortunes, Tom.
Here we go.
Don't let that happen, Tommy boy. You know what I'm saying? Huh?
Here we go.
I gotta lie, Don, that last part sounded like a whole load of bullshit, bro. I can't lie.
Here we go.
That was a lot of bullshit.
The game is all about rivalries, right? And Tom's greatest captain coming to Chelsea Football Club and helping us to win and compete again, right? It's not something to ignore, Staffy. It's not something to ignore, bro.
Okay, so
what will he do, Don? What would he do on the pitch for Chelsea? Let's hear what he would do.
He ain't gonna do nothing because he's barely gonna play. So he ain't gonna do nothing because he's barely gonna play. He's barely gonna do nothing. He's barely gonna do nothing because he's not gonna play, bro.
You're celebrating signing players who you don't want to see touch pitch.
Yes, because behind the closed doors, they'll help the young delinquents. Yes, I am. Yes.
Okay. Can I get my take on this? Or is Tom gonna go?
Hold on, Staffy. Let me just finish. I would have loved Xhaka because Xhaka on the pitch and off the pitch, fantastic. But like I said in the GC, Tom, Henderson on the pitch is yucky. Off the pitch is fantastic, bro. Right? We're not gonna have to use my man. We're not gonna have to use my man, bro. He's just gonna be there. He's literally just getting paid to train and be a consultant. That's what he is. He's just a consultant. That's what he is.
Tom.
I just want to ask about how much he's going to get used because Don seems to think that.
Well, he already responded. He said there's no use.
He's saying he's not going to get on the pitch.
But I'm just saying who's going to take the minutes off him because I assume Enzo and Caicedo are the starters. Who then steps in after them too?
Bro, you've got Barco there. You've got even Reece James goes in the midfield before him. You've got Asugo that's still at the club. Lavia's still here at the club. Right? That guy's like sixth choice, bro. Sixth choice. Sorry.
Okay, can I get my take on this?
I think you're going to have a
Let me get my take on this because I've already spoken to Donna about this. He called me the day of the signing, and we already went over this. So everything that he just fed the crowd, congrats, guys. I've heard it multiple times already. So at least you didn't suffer for as long as I did. Now, here's the thing. While Don is right in some things, I do agree that Henderson is bringing a lot of intangibles. Okay? When we say intangibles, we're talking about the presence in the locker room, the leadership, all the stuff that he's talking about a super nanny. Yeah, that's probably true. But guess what? Since when has this sport become a sport where when I'm signing a player, I'm looking at the intangibles before I'm looking at the quality on the pitch? Now, I don't care if he's a 5th, 6th, 7th option. I want everyone in my squad, the minute I put them on the pitch, whether it's for 45 minutes, for 90 minutes, or even 10 minutes, I want to be able to expect a certain level from them. The way Don is talking about Henderson, people who watch American sports are going to get this. He's talking about Henderson like we're talking about a minimum vet player in the NBA. For people who don't know what a minimum vet player is, in the NBA, because squads are a lot smaller because they only put 5 players, you actually need to fill a roster limit. So when an NBA team has enough good players, they do something called minimum vet, where they just sign a bunch of old players. They put them on the most minimum money they can put them on, which is about $4 million. And there you go. They're like, you know what? We sorted out our squad. These players end up never playing a fucking minute during the season. That's basketball. That's not fucking football. Football, I still expect my players, because squads are bigger and you have to field more players, 11 players. I'm expecting if you get any minutes, I just want you to be of certain quality. When Don sits here, and most Chelsea fans are doing this, when they are rating all the intangibles while admitting this guy shouldn't be playing any minutes, he will get no minutes, at some point, I'm not even rating him as a player anymore. I'm just rating him as an influencer in the team. I'm rating him as an assistant coach. I'm rating him as a psychiatrist or something. I'm sorry, Don. When I am on the pitch, when I'm on the pitch and I'm away at Anfield, since you want to use Liverpool as an example, I'm away at Anfield and I'm up 1-0 or something, and I want to see out a game. I want my leader to also be on the pitch while he's being vocal. I want him to be on the pitch. I don't want him to be in the stands shouting, yo, close him down. Come closer. Oh, that's good, lads. Keep pushing up. I don't want to hear that shit from the stands. I want to hear that shit on the pitch. So while this is all nice, and the fact that he's free and all these little intangibles that we talked about, all this is great, this doesn't feel like a signing of a player. This feels like a signing of a coach, of an assistant coach, of just someone who's just doing everything off the pitch. So please, while you're being right, don't gaslight us on that part, because you guys have said nothing good about him as a football player, which he's been signed, and he's signing a contract to do. He's signing the contract of a football player.
Staffy, every team needs different things, bro. And one of the components that we've been missing at Chelsea, bro, since they came in and ripped it all apart, right, is winners and players or people upstairs that have been there, done it, bro. Like I've told you, man, no one can chat to Xabi about anything at Chelsea, bro, because he's got the most clout at the club. Not the owners, they might be richer than him, but they can't chat to him about football. The players can't chat to this guy, Xabi Alonso, about football. None of the directors can, bro, because where they come from, Monaco and Brighton and that, they can't chat to big Liverpool, Champions League winning Liverpool. He can't chat to Bayern Munich. They can't chat to Real Madrid, Xabi Alonso, bro. World-class Xabi Alonso, one of the greatest midfielders we've seen, right? And then on top of that, with Jordan Henderson, bro, he might not have been one of the best players we've ever seen in the Prem, but he's one of the greatest leaders that we've seen, yeah? And these are things that the club, especially off the pitch, have missed, bro. Figures that have been there, done it, and know how to guide, you know, a team that are basically trying to do it their way. But like we've seen over the years, it hasn't worked, bro. These are the type of things that you lot have all been saying Chelsea have been missing. Now we're looking to get it. Okay, yes, it's not the perfect one. Xhaka would have been the perfect one. I agree with that. But end of the day, when you look at the next person that can do what Xhaka does off the pitch, especially, bro, you're looking at someone like Henderson. You know what I'm saying? So I agree. Yes, Staffy, on the pitch, cool. He might not be the guy, you know, that can really help and that, cool. But good thing is, we've got more than enough quality in the team to not need him, bro. We might just play him in, you know, in the cup games against the Grimsbys and these sort of guys, or maybe some Prem games where the game's already done, man comes on for a bit. But bro, we've got enough leadership on the pitch, bro. Hence why we've bought Lacroix, bro. Lacroix is a leader. Enzo Fernandez is a leader. You know what I'm saying, bro? Cole on the other side for me is a leader.
I'm sorry, you contradicted yourself there. You just contradicted yourself. You cannot tell me we have enough leadership on the pitch and at the same time saying you guys said we need leadership in the team, so that's why we signed him.
I didn't contradict myself. You just did.
You just said we have enough leadership on the pitch. So what's the point of Henderson?
Everything that I spoke about with Henderson was off the pitch. I said upstairs, bro. I said people that don't understand how to win at the football club. That's what I said. I said,
bro, you're acting like your squad is a bunch of crackheads and they don't know how to act off the pitch. Like they're beating up each other and shit. Like you need a bouncer. Is he a bouncer?
If these guys are leaders on the pitch, they can be leaders off the pitch, can't they? Otherwise, it's a massive problem.
They are Staffy, but guess what? I'm secure enough to say it. They are crackheads, bro. You don't get nearly 11 red cards if you're not a crackhead.
So hire a bouncer then. Go hire a bouncer. There's a bunch of bouncers in New York. Go to Dickman, you'll find a bunch of them. Go get you a Dominican bouncer, bro. They're big, they're tall, they can handle it.
Yeah, bro. Listen, we've hired a consultant that can do the bouncer stuff, and he can also do the nicey stuff. You know what I mean? Shout out Rogers and Jude. Go check out their interview. They spoke about my man. So listen, I was emotionally, when I saw the links, I said, yo, what are we doing? I've even got a tweet saying you lot are going too far with this experience thing. But when I calmed down and I was just being objective, I said, bro, off the pitch, I understand. Yeah, I understand. On the pitch, I don't want to see my man. That's what I said. You know what I mean?
Done. All I'm going to say is, we've got to move on from this section. You got stuff to do as well. And I've got some super chats to go through. All I'm going to say is, whenever I get a signing I don't like, I'm going to use that. I'm going to use that. I'm going to use it.
Give me a sec.
Yeah.
By the way, in a world full of Hendersons, get you a Welbeck. Great signing. Shout out Danny Welbeck.
You're going to want to see him on the pitch. You're going to want to see him play out this contract.
Well, guess what, Tom? When he actually steps on the pitch, he will actually look like a good footballer. And even as rivals, will rate him as a backup option. Because to get that amount of experience, someone who was starting last season, to come off the bench for one of the bigger clubs this season, that's a good signing. So make more Welbeck decisions in your life, make less Henderson decisions in your life.
I mean, remember, guys, as someone who's had to deal with Jordan Henderson before, if you're talking about his intangibles and how good of a leader he is and everything off the pitch, you've not seen all the shit he's been involved in since he's left Liverpool. He fell out with Ajax because of the intangibles that he's so great at. You know, he felt he wasn't playing enough for Ajax, so he threw his toys out the pram and threw a hissy fit, which is everything that Super Nanny is supposed to come in and stop. He did. He then went to Brentford and fell out with their fans because of what he did on the last day of the season. That's something Super Nanny is supposed to fix, not show everyone how to do. And now we're saying that Super Nanny, someone who's got attitude problems when he doesn't feel he's getting his own way. I mean, he left Liverpool because he went, I need to be starting every game. And we went, well, we're going to buy McAllister and Soboslai, so you're not going to. Why, I want to leave then. Then he left Saudi because it wasn't good. He didn't feel happy there. Then he left Ajax because he wasn't getting his own way. Then he's left Brentford because he fell out with people at the end. And now we're going to Chelsea where he's supposed to be Super Nanny. I can teach everyone, come by we're going to sit around the fire. We're going to play guitar. We're going to all have a fun time. And we're all going to learn as one. When he has caused all of this before. So I don't know if this is Super Nanny stepping in or if this is someone who genuinely believes he thinks he should play. And if he genuinely believes he thinks he's going to play, then guess what? Super Nanny's not going to work. And Danny Welbeck's tries to be Super Nanny whilst being a player at the same time. So what do we do?
It's going to be a wonderful.
You know what I'd love to know. The stream we did when the England squad was announced and Henderson was in there, I'd love to know what Don said about that.
Listen, we already know what Don said about that. You know what I mean? We already know what Don said about that. But remember this, guys. Remember this. If you don't like a player, just say, but off the pitch, they're amazing. And it all makes sense. It all works out. You know what I mean? It's all good. I use that for Xerxes now. On the pitch, I don't want to see it.
Hey, listen, we're calling what are we calling Zirks at the club? He's the vibes enforcer, something like that.
Right,
every time we make a new signing, Zirks is the first one to greet him. I don't know why, bro. He's always the first to give a handshake.
Off the pitch is the intangibles are fantastic with Xerxes. We don't need
like he's dead as our receptionist, bro. We sign a new player. The first post is him dapping up Xerxes. I don't know why, but it's always the first one.
He's there for vibes, man. He's there for vibes. We got him on wish. Anyway, big up Xerxes. That goal in preseason was good. But we've got some super chats here before we get into the big Vinicius Jr. news and the big Bruno G news for Arsenal. So make sure you guys are stay tuning in for that. Super chat here from Winner Surfer says, we just got rid of 49 and now this, talking about Utd Mudryk.
He's better than 49, Surfer. At least he can run. 49 couldn't run.
Yeah, but I would love him to get the 49 shirt. That'd be fantastic. The spirit of Garnacho lives on.
What number was he before? Does anyone remember?
10. Then Palmer came.
He was.
Oh yeah, oh my god, he was the 10.
yeah. And he was 15 before that, and then Jackson took it. So
Staffy, do you know how funny it is if you actually a Chelsea fan? Mudryk, what's it about Mudryk? Bearing in mind, you know when Don was going, he was a youngster when he come in, he was 22. He was 22.
That's what I mean. This is what I mean.
You treat him like a 17-year-old.
Yeah, the way you were talking, that's what I said. He's 25. He's not like he's got back at 18.
they still, in the year of 2026, have to put out a performance against James Milner at right back. It's like, this is what Mudryk can do.
I remember, wasn't that his debut or something?
His debut every single time, man. We got Down AFC here says, I'm good on that bum. We got the cult hero, Bossard. Yeah, so that is true. They Arsenal did miss out on Mudryk because he wanted to go Chelsea, so they got Trossard instead, and that worked out for Arsenal, so they don't care about that. Drew One says we lost the most points from the winning positions in the league. Henderson playing for 10 minutes to pass the ball back and drag us to a win is clutch. I mean, he also could give it away.
But see, this is why I'm saying they are contradicting themselves. This super chat saying he's gonna, let's say he's closing up with 10 minutes, but Don just told us he's a sixth option. When you're the sixth option, you're not playing any games.
You're not playing the closing.
So
minutes.
Ultimately, signing a player to play 0 minutes just shows you how poor of a player he is. But then if he plays, it means you're already saying he's better than your bench options. It's just like it just doesn't make sense.
At this point, you might as well hire him as a coach. You should have forced him to retire and come as a coach, because
I mean that's the same guy. To be fair, the KJ, that's the same guy who broke his arm and then he wore a full kit next game. They were calling
dedicated.
What's it called? A full kit wanker.
Yeah. Dedicated to the cause, boy. Oh, no, but
this is the thing. The most memorable thing Jordan Henderson's done in the past year is get booked and break his arm in a game where he didn't get on the pitch.
Yeah, wild scenes. Man like Ches here saying that.
And Don's trying to come and go on that's the man who's going to teach my players responsibility. Where was his responsibility then?
Hey, listen,
he can't even hop a fucking ad board, but he's supposed to. He can't hop an ad board, but he's supposed to teach him discipline.
They're supposed to teach him how to win the Champions League and Premier League. But man, listen, it's dark, man. Dark.
They have to be in the Champions League too.
Don will find the light in any Chelsea darkness. Just know that. And this guy
Don can sell salt to a snail, bro. That's who Don.
Crazy. Chelsea is building, KJ. That's what Ches is saying. You've made some good signings. Just the Henderson one is questionable. Abdullah here says, big up KJ, big up Don, Staffy, and Elden Ring. Tom. Oh, I saw someone said you got that look again. At some point, so that was hilarious. Another super chat here from Tony says, "Is Don all right? This is next level, bro. Don is Don. He's perfectly fine. We think." What else we got here? We got SW6 Way says Henderson is free. Welbeck is undisclosed fee. Yeah, he is a free, so at least he's not, costing money. Welbeck is apparently going to be under £10 million, which again is not too bad overall. So it's not the worst thing.
How much do we think Super Nanny's worth a week? How much do we think Chelsea are paying Super Nanny?
They're giving him. I reckon they're giving him like 75k. Like they're going to give him 75k.
If they're paying him 75k a week to, as Don says, not see the pitch, to not do his job, I'll tell you what, he's done well there.
Yeah, I reckon it has to be, because Jordan Henderson will come out and he'll be like, well, I've won Champions League and Premier League and I've played that season. He would demand it's 75k above, I reckon. Don, admit it, you're in the mud, Super Nanny from AMT. Don AFC back again. Oh, I've just realized what he's wearing, and it's actually a picture of Don with an I Love Arsenal shirt on. That's hilarious. He goes, Udonis
Haslam, the ultimate old man in the NBA who's still playing at 41.
Oh,
but he didn't touch the court. He was just there. Udonis Haslam was just there at the He's. He was there version of Super Nanny.
That is a NBA reference I do not understand, but now I get it. Yeah, Don is gassing up the signing. Yeah, hey, listen, he's not yuck off the pitch. That's what I need to know. Manny here says that the FA forced Chelsea to sign Henderson as part of their punishment. Low councillor club. To be fair, that might be the case. They need, because Henderson is a star boy for the FA for some weird reason. I remember when he won England Football of the Year, and I was like, how has he done this? But yeah, it might be. That might be the case. Drill King says, D-Real King says, Don, JT and Lamps were leaders on and off the pitch. Leaders were on the pitch, not off it.
This is the thing. If Jordan Henderson is the leader for Chelsea, You know, if they're in a tight game with 10 minutes to go, are we just going to be seeing the entire team look over to the bench every time the ball goes out of play for Jordan, who's doing jogs up and down the touchline in his vest?
After every game, when you see them leave to go to the team boss or something, they're gonna go to Jordan's like, so what do I do now with my life? Like, do I go home? Do I relax, or what do I do? Because he clearly,
bro, they think he's there for like he's a psychologist, like he's there for therapy. You know, like after every game, they're gonna have like a 10-minute session.
Yeah,
with Jordan Henderson, you're gonna sit there, just lay down, and Jordan Henderson's not gonna ask you questions.
Because he's Superman, he's gonna give them stars for their performances. That's what's gonna happen. AMT back again. Again, experience doesn't mean senior citizens. That is true. Thand, TH
Thandizo.
Thandizo, my guy. It says Staffy. We also have that old keeper who never plays. Bentinelli. Bentinelli?
So,
well, he's a fourth choice. So
no, I don't think he means Chelsea, because I was talking about squad, saying you would hope that everyone can, if they play, they can give you minutes. While I agree with you that that's probably the only anomaly, every squad has a third goalkeeper who tends to be English because of the quota, that we know they're just there to fill the roster and the quota, and that's it.
Yeah.
What are the odds that you're ever going to go to your third or fourth goalkeeper? What's the name of the guy that Scott Carson? Scott Carson played with what? How many games did he play for City? Like 3 games his whole career?
He played 3 games in total.
He had more trophies than the minutes played. Like, come on, let's just be honest.
Yo,
that's the exception to the rule.
The real king back again, saying Don wonders why we call him Don Skeeto, the Lulu. We got Matt here again, who's been a member for 12 months. My guy, thank you so much for being a member for so long. It said Tom thinks Liverpool transfer activity will pick up soon or stay slow as it currently stands.
Do I think it'll pick up?
You do think?
I assume it will pick up because I think that there's going to be some things that happen which we maybe didn't want to happen that will end up happening, like Curtis Jones leaving. I think it'll pick up, but I don't think it'll be like 5, 6, 7 signings. I think it'll be 3 come in and maybe 1 go.
Fair enough. Don AFC back again, saying Chelsea are gonna challenge with Saliba from AliExpress. Talking about Lacroix. And AMT's back saying, is Henderson similar to Win the Dog like AFC at Arsenal?
You know what, bro? That is probably the super chat of the day. That is nailed on. They signed a mascot. Great. That's what Don is feeling to say. They signed a mascot.
Oh, you know who he is? Remember Man United when we made people redundant, and there was that one lady who was on like 100 something K a week, and she was like the body language
language expert.
Yeah,
the body language expert.
Yeah, that is Henderson. He's gonna be just robbing a living.
It's just hilarious, bro.
All right, guys.
And you know what makes it even better? Like, you can't even say that. Johnny Evans as an example, because people use that as an example. They're like, "Oh, you signed Johnny Evans a couple years ago." I was like, "Well, the context was different. He's from the club. His wife was working in the media, so you can kind of say that was a nepotism type contract."
Yeah.
But like, he played 1 year and then he went to become like an assistant coach. Henderson has no relations with Chelsea. Like, you can't even say he's from Cobham. He's Chelsea through and through. Like, there's no excuse when it comes to that. He's a stranger to the club.
No, but what makes it worse, it's the fact that they know he's like the emergency choice. They didn't want him. They just fucked up Xhaka.
Bro, I'm telling you this. 2 weeks ago, if you would have told any of them, not actually 2 weeks ago, maybe a month ago, if you would have told anyone you're getting rid of Santos and you're signing Henderson, all of us would have called us crazy. No one would have agreed with us. But now all of a sudden it makes sense.
It makes complete sense. It also makes sense that Win the Dog is an EPL champion. That is true.
And Win the Dog can jump over ad boards. I can probably assure that.
You can handle them. You know what it was as well? It was Don going, who's going to play after Endo Fernandez and Caicedo? Oh, we'll play Reece James in midfield. Isn't he not supposed to play centre back? We'll play a Sugo. He's injured all the time. Lavia, he's injured all the time. That's why you
I do think they're going to sign one more midfielder, but this is enough for Chelsea. We've gone about it too long, and Don's even disappeared anyway. We need to talk about the real juicy stuff. Which one do we do first? Bruno G or Vini Jr.? Which one are we doing? Which one do you guys want to speak about first?
I mean, Bruno G seems to be getting closer to being done, doesn't it?
Okay, let's talk about some Bruno G, and then we get into Vinny at the end there. Make sure you are smashing that like button and you are subscribing to the Football Terrace. We are on the Arsenal section. So here we go. So, guys, we talk about Newcastle and everything falling apart, and this will probably be the thing that just absolutely tears Newcastle fans' hearts into two completely, obliterate their feelings, because Bruno G is looking like he is about to go and sign for Arsenal. All the reports are saying that he's missing training. They are saying he was allowed to miss training. It was part of the schedule that they had for him. But we all secretly know the reason why he's not going to Spain right now or wherever they're at is because the Arsenal transfer looking like it's coming. A reported fee of around 75, 80 million is allegedly reportedly being agreed, and that for the transfer of Bruno Guimaraes. Guys, I just want to know, how big of a move is this for Arsenal if they get this done?
Exactly, it's exactly what they needed. Exactly what they needed. You know, they're getting an experienced guy who they want on the pitch, for one. You know, this is someone who's won trophies. He knows how to handle it. I think as well with Bruno, it gives them the opportunity to rest Rice and trust that the midfield isn't going to crumble without his presence there. I think that was something that scared Arteta a lot last year. The idea of having to take Rice out of the team to rest and recover when he had to play Marino and Zubimendi and that together. He didn't trust that midfield unit. It didn't do exactly what he needed to do. Bruno G can do exactly what Arteta needs, and it gives him so much more flexibility with how he wants to set up. He can go for bully ball lineups if you want with Rice and Marino and Bruno G, and get three really physical guys in that midfield. Bruno G is also very technical. It just gives them the right amount of flexibility and a good amount of depth. And it's when you're looking at what Arsenal needs to do, Arsenal needed to strengthen from a position of strength. And I think that's exactly what Bruno G is. It's strengthening from a position of strength. They're not losing anyone. And they're bringing in one of the best midfielders in the Premier League. And it just makes complete sense every way you want to look at it. And yeah, it's expensive, but he's going to be expensive. And I know that the whole thing was Tonali was their top target this summer, and the price just drove them away from that. I think they've looked out there. I think they've already got the better player for what they need for cheaper, because Tonali was so expensive and he went to Tottenham. I think it's worked out brilliantly for Arsenal.
Go on, Staffy.
I agree with Tom. We've spoken about this earlier in the summer when it was a little bit close, and I feel like it died down a little bit, but now it's picking up again. In the meantime, can we just say Arsenal's summer has been underwhelming? Yeah, it has been. They signed a backup goalkeeper. They signed a left wing. Did they sign anyone else other than those two?
No, that's pretty much
just those two.
Yeah, I don't think, when you look at their squad and what they achieved, I don't think it's going to be a summer where there's a lot of major changes and major signings anyways. Most of the squad are young. They're still on long contracts. There's not a lot of changes that's going to happen. They're kind of like the New York Knicks. We don't need to change a lot of things. So neither did them. And we're both champions. So there you go, Arsenal. But when you're coming off a season like that, I don't expect a lot of major changes. However, with the Bruno G signing, I think it would be the biggest signing and probably the only signing they do in terms of that stature, sorry. But I think it would be perfect for them. Since we last spoke about it, Saliba's been confirmed to be out for about 4 to 5 months. So that's one of their leaders on the pitch without the armband. And the whole thing, obviously, about Rice, we're always talking about, or like you're hearing news about how much he's going to be rested, at least in the beginning of the season, because of the amount of minutes that he's put over the last 2 seasons. So I'm looking at this as someone who is going to come in with leadership. There you go, Don. Leadership while also being on the pitch, and midfield depth. And I just think both of them are perfect for this signing. I don't know how much he's going to cost, but it's just the most tailor-made signing for them at this moment. Now, I know there's speculations that Chelsea could have hijacked if Arsenal don't meet the price, or they take too long to bid on all that. And I'm looking at this and I'm like, if I'm Bruno G, which club would I join? And regardless of Arsenal being the champions of the last season, I'm looking at this and I'm like, you know what? His timeline to his age, it's perfect for Arsenal. If you're in a win now situation, because yeah, he picked up a couple trophies or one trophy, I should say, with Newcastle. But if he's ambitious and he wants to win the biggest of trophies, which he is, I look at Arsenal and their timeline as well, and I just think that's the perfect signing for him. So it is a signing that I think is perfect for everyone. So they need to get that done. I think it will be an amazing signing.
Yeah, I've said many times that it's going to be brilliant, and Arsenal are showing a real sign of intent of trying to get their first back-to-back Premier League in the Premier League era. So yeah, they need to get it done. It's one of those transfers that it feels like it's done, but there's no real solid confirmation. Like we've seen numbers being thrown around, agreements being made, but none of the big boys, none of the Fabrizios or the Ornsteins or even Ben
It gives
Jacobs.
me Isak vibes on a smaller scale because he's not as a big name as Isak was because of the nature of their position. And usually when you're a top goal scorer, you attract more attention anyways than just a midfielder. But it kind of it's dragging it a little bit like Isak, in my opinion, where it's clear the player wants to leave. The club is doing everything they can to save face a little bit and at least like milk out every pound they could get in the meantime. But it's one of those where I think it's inevitable to happen, and it could drag. Honestly, if you told me this, ideally you wouldn't want it to drag that much. But if you told me it would drag until like the last week of the transfer window, I honestly could see that happening. Obviously, Arsenal don't want that to be the case because they would rather him come in for a little bit of preseason and be ready to start the season with them. But just because of the nature of the signing and what's going on, the situation going on with Newcastle, if it drags a little bit longer, I understand it. But I would tell Arsenal fans, just don't lose your patience. And honestly, as you said, KJ, it's almost like one of those where you kind of know like it's going to happen, but when is it going to happen?
Yeah, it feels inevitable. I just think that Newcastle are trying to save face where they can, especially with the fact that they've just announced that Eddie Howe's left. It'll be really bad if the same day Bruno G's going, even though we all kind of know that that's the catalyst which has pushed Eddie Howe over the edge. Newcastle are trying to save face where they can. I mean, saying that, we always said Bruno could arrive in a different way. It's not a big thing. He's not yeah, right. I remember you saying that with Isak when he didn't go. It's just a little knock. He'll be back soon rather than later. And then all of a sudden he wasn't there. So I just think that they're trying to save face and trying to, save a bit of the rep where they can. But it definitely gets done. I think the player wants it. I think Arsenal really want him. And I think that Newcastle kind of accept that, look, we're moving into a different phase of our project. And Bruno's timeline doesn't align with ours. Let's maximise what we can get for him.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. I'm very intrigued to see when this gets done, when it's announced, how it's announced as well. Is it going to be ones where boom, bid goes in and it's just accepted because everything's agreed and he just is joining, or will there be some back and forth of, because there's already been reports of first bid, second bids rejected.
It feels like it's Arsenal just doing like intermediary type things, and I think it'll be a one offer and accepted type thing because they've done all the work through the intermediaries rather than bid rejected, bid rejected, bid rejected. I think Arsenal are trying to be almost a bit respectful and go, yeah, look, we'll figure it out behind the scenes, then it'll just be quick once we get there.
Yeah. To be fair, like that's probably the best way to do it because Newcastle, they're as a club, they're very
Newcastle can't do another summer of rejecting bids just to inevitably sell the player.
Yeah. They've already gone through as much pain, enough pain as it is.
The reality is that Isak transfer has undone everything Newcastle wanted to build in the space of 12 months because of the fact they didn't just sell him when they got the first offer.
Yeah, if they had sold him,
if when we came to them on June 22nd and went, are you going to sell us Isak? Because if not, we're going to go for Ekitike. And they went, look, we'll sell Isak then, and we'll get Ekitike. And imagine how different it would have been.
Yeah, they would have got a top player in Ekitike, and they would have saved a lot of embarrassment with Ekitike and Sesko. Like a lot of things would have been very different. Guys, let me in the comment section below, how excited are you for Bruno G to come to Arsenal? Because I think all of us on the panel here agree that that's going to be happening. We got some super chats here before we talk about Vinicius Jr. and Arsenal as well. AMT's back here said that Arsenal don't have to go ballistic like the others, talking about the amount of signings that they've made so far. So I agree with that.
Arsenal just need to work from a position of strength, which is the exact right thing to do.
And they're doing that, and they get the Bruno G, and then maybe get Vini, and then they're done for the window. They're good to go. Connie here says Chelsea went from under 23 to over 35 in less than a year. Milner out of retirement next. Imagine if James Milner came out of retirement to play for Chelsea. That would be
if he didn't retire.
bonkers.
I promise you, he would have been on their list.
Oh, 100%. He is a good guy to have in the dressing room. That's a proper dressing room guy, James Milner.
Yeah. Proper boring brother. You need that. You know,
I don't know who's a better super nanny, Milner or Henderson?
Bro, they're both finished on the pitch, bro.
Okay, but who's a better nanny?
Doing it, man.
Yeah, I didn't say pitch.
James Milner instead, like what we're doing.
We're talking about
I said who's a better nanny?
The best option is Xhaka. We couldn't get Xhaka, so move on, bro.
Well, no.
Who's the better nanny though? Who would you rather be a mascot?
Better nanny because they're both rubbish on the pitch.
Who's the best consultant? Who's the best consultant?
Yeah.
At least, well, Henderson can at least still get around the pitch.
I mean, he can't get over like advertising stand.
Milner can play it right back,
Can't
left
get over
back.
advertising stand. Yeah, you're right. See,
I mean,
that's how you know. That's how you know he's here on a consultant thing, bro. Man passed the medical and his arm's broken.
Okay, so let me ask you this: a super chat said, when you're winning games, because you guys dropped the most points from a winning position last season, when you're winning games, he'll be perfect to bring on for 10 minutes. That kind of goes against you saying he won't play any minutes. Which one of you guys are right?
Let's see how many minutes he gets because we're getting another midfielder, bro.
So do you agree or disagree with the super chat that he's good?
We'll see. It might. We might be
disagree or disagree with the super chat.
I can't because
you can't comment on the super chat.
The context for every game is different, Staffy.
So is he a good option to come on for 10 minutes? Yes or no? It's a very simple question.
It depends on the game and who we're playing.
Just any game, an average game.
No, it's not any game though. Because if we're winning 1-0 against a bigger side, why don't I want Henderson to come on, bro? I don't want that.
It doesn't have. It's an average game. You're up to 1-0.
Bro, he'll get those minutes in Grimsby against those teams there. You know what I'm saying, Staffy? Yeah, we're playing from September, bro. You know what I mean? Why did this Henderson thing rattle you so much, bro? Like
because it's a super chat that you don't want to address. I'm asking specifically about what the super chat said. When you're up to, you are not playing Grimsby in the league. The super chat said you dropped the most points from winning positions in the league. As far as I remember, Grimsby are not in the league. So when the super chat says that, I'm just asking if you agree or disagree because your take is different than the super chat. But apparently, it's absurd for me to ask for that.
I never said it's absurd, bro. I'm just saying that it depends on the game. If we're winning 3-1 comfortably away from home against, I don't know what team can I think of, bro? Like a team that's near the bottom, bro. You'll be able to handle
Ipswich.
Like teams like that against the bigger teams. I don't want to be seeing no Henderson coming on off the bench, bro. That's why I said it depends on the game and who we're facing.
Okay.
I mean,
we got some kind of answer there. We're gonna leave this one because we got to talk about Don's favorite team. We're gonna talk about a bit more about Arsenal, guys. Smash that like button, subscribe to the Football Terrace. We need to talk about this huge Vinicius Jr. contract update. So let me read it out for you guys, just to get yours, so you guys can warm up your thoughts. You know what I mean? Warm up your agendas and all of that. So first of all, we've got here. This is from Marca, by the way. You know, Marca in Spain is somewhat reputable. You know what I mean? People trust their word. Real Madrid have just informed Vinicius Jr. that the club's latest contract renewal offer is the final offer. He either accepts it or the club will consider selling him now. If he refuses to be sold, he will be put on the bench. He'll be put on the bench if he doesn't sign a new contract and he stays. This is from Rodra. His name is literally Rodra10_97, who seems to be a Spanish reporter. He says Vinicius does not intend to return to the negotiating table unless Real Madrid improves its offer, which has not happened so far. The meeting that was held. The meeting that was to be held after the end of the World Cup has also been cancelled. The player returns to training. His future is still undecided. And I think I got one more here as well. Yes, one more breaking news here as well from Samuel Bell. And this is just definitely coming out just like in the last hour or so. No, not even the last hour, last 30 minutes. Arsenal are confident Vinicius Jr. would join and believe they have financial means to complete the deal should he choose not to renew at Real Madrid. Neither Vini Jr. or Real Madrid are willing to budge on agreeing a new contract as of now. So there is a big stalemate. There is a massive stalemate between Vinicius Jr. and Real Madrid. The contract offer from Madrid is not enough in Vinicius Jr.'s eyes. Real Madrid will not stand for Vinicius just staying at the club. They either will sell him or they'll let him rot on the bench. Guys, this is big. Arsenal in the wins. They've got the money. They've got the status. Don, do you think this deal will happen? Do you believe Arsenal will sign Vinicius Jr.?
I think Arsenal got the means to do it, but I don't think they will, because I think Vini will stay, bro. I think Vini stays at Madrid, man. Nothing's really changed. All I'm hearing here is contract negotiations and that Arsenal are lurking in the back. So I think the next update we need to wait for now is my man going to stay? Is he going to reject it? And that's it. That's the big bomber. Or have they come to an agreement? You know, because the main thing right now is that Vini wants to stay at Madrid, but there's a gap in salary and how much they want to give him. You know what I'm saying? And everything that's coming out of that club is that Mourinho wants to keep all his big dogs, bro. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to find, like, Madrid ain't going to just want to get rid of, you know, him and KK are the best, him and Kvaratskhelia are the best left wingers in the world. You know what I'm saying, bro? So who are you going to get right now to go and replace that? Cool, you've got Diamonde, fine, but he's not Vini. You know what I'm saying? You're not getting Kvaratskhelia out of PSG either. You're not getting Olise. If they got Olise, cool, then you're getting your output from the right, but they're not getting any of them, bro. They're getting a Diamonde who's far from Vini at the minute in football. You know what I'm saying? So I just don't see Madrid letting man go in it and not trying to come to some sort of agreement, especially when they see how much money he brings for the club. You know, they've seen how much he's helped the club. All the Champions Leagues, bro. You're talking about Champions League FC. This guy's helped and contributed towards winning those Champions Leagues. Some of those Champions League. You know what I mean? So I think him leaving. I think he's so far from leaving at the minute. Personally, innit? I just feel like he just wants to get as much money as possible because he's looking at Arsenal and he's probably using them in negotiations, bro. They're willing to give me 100% image rights or whatever. They want to give me this much and want to go to the Prem. You, man, this is what I've got right here. Counter offer me. That's what's going on right now, bro. So I don't expect him to leave, innit? If he doesn't sign, I'll be surprised. Very surprised.
Hey, Tom, what are you saying? Do you think Arsenal get this done?
You know what? I think they do. I think that Vinicius probably has a similar feeling towards Madrid at the minute as to what Neymar had back in 2017, when he feels that he should have more respect from the football club, but he can't seem to get out of the shadow of the big name there in Messi or Mbappe. I think that this is the chance for him to go, and I think that Real Madrid, you know, it's all about optics with Real Madrid, and I think that they could try and spin that Vinicius sale into a positive thing. Like, look at us, we're moving into a new era. He wasn't. Mourinho identified it that we needed to address these bad attitudes, and he didn't want to sign a contract, and that was a bad attitude we don't want, so we moved him on, and we've got a complete unit that's all together and type thing. I could see that happening. I think Arsenal are going to get him. And it's a terrifying prospect if they do, because that's the first superstar to join the Premier League since Ronaldo back in 2021. And even then, that was an aging Ronaldo. That was a respectfully passive prime Ronaldo. When was the last time a bona fide superstar joined the Premier League in his prime or just about to enter his prime? Because I can't think of one off the top of my head. You know, City weren't buying them. We weren't buying them. Someone in the comments might know, but this feels like a superstar signing. And when we're talking about what Arsenal needs to do, strengthen from a position of strength. Don't rip up the squad. Just add what needs to be added. I think that it makes complete sense for Arsenal. I think it makes sense for Vini, a chance to go and shine and be the main man. But
he's already one of the main men, though. Like, he's already one of the main men. This ain't like he's the
third musketeer, though. Don. He's the third musketeer in that team. They
musketeer. Vini,
yeah.
Musketeer.
No, I'm just saying for Mbappe and Jude are above him.
Yeah, but we've always known Madrid to have Galacticos, especially in the attack, bro, in every position. Like
but I think what Tom's saying, like, in terms of commerciality, in terms of the way that he feels that he's treated, he probably doesn't feel like he's on level with Mbappe and or Jude. Like he probably thinks like, yo, you treat Mbappe, because one of the reports was saying that he looks at Mbappe's contracts and all the things that they gave him, and it was like, and Vini's like, well, hold on, you've given Mbappe everything I wanted.
I've won you 2 Champions League.
I've won you 2 Champions League. I've won you league.
Yeah.
He's not done that yet, but yet I can't get what I want. So I think that's where
that's what I'm saying. That they need to. I get where you lot are coming from. That's what I'm saying. Real Madrid, the main thing is that they need to show man love. They need to make man feel appreciated and feel like, right, okay, you man actually appreciate my value.
I don't think they're going to do that.
That's what I'm saying. I think that they will. I believe that they will, bro. Because like you've said, your reasoning why you think he's gonna leave is the reason why I think he'll stay, bro. Because you just said, oh, how many like when was the last time a superstar left or whatever, bro? Real Madrid don't want to get rid of any superstars. When Ozil left Madrid, he was not, a guaranteed guy to be starting in their 11, bro. He was kind of not really on the fringes. He was part of the squad, but it was like, okay, if he goes to Arsenal, he's gonna be the main man, right? I don't really look at Vini like that because yes, Mbappe is Mbappe, but Vini's still Vini in that team. You know what I'm saying? That left-hand side is literally his, bro. They don't play Rodrigo on the left at all because of Vini, bro. And Rodrigo prefers playing off the left. You know what I'm saying? So, yes, Mbappe might feel more important. That's a different debate in itself, like who's more important between those two. But it's a team game, bro. You need both of them. If you want to win all the best, when Madrid were winning all those trophies, bro, they had Casemiro, Cruz, Mudryk. They had Benzema, Bale, Ronaldo. Like, they didn't just have Ronaldo. You know what I mean? So, is man's ego gonna be that mad that Mbappe is getting all the shine and you're getting just some of it? I don't know, bro, because Madrid is the pinnacle of football, and I feel like Vini still has. I feel like this part of Real Madrid now is like a second boost. It's like a second win, because Vini got the end of the Benzemas and these guys. Now he's kind of in the middle of Mbappe and Rodri potentially. You know what I'm saying? Bernardo Silva. It's like it's a second half. It's a second Real Madrid.
I think that's why he's going to leave because, as you said, he saw the back end of the 2010s Galactico team with Ronaldo, Bale, Benzema. He was in the latter stage of that. Saw those players leave. He scored the winner in the last final that core one, and then he scored the winner in the final this new core one. And yet it seems like he's been brushed to the wayside a little bit now at Madrid for the likes of Bellingham, for the likes of Mbappe. I mean, I saw a report yesterday from some Alvarez journalist who's got a lot right recently that Real Madrid have 4 untouchables at the minute, and they are Courtois, Valverde, Bellingham, and Mbappe. So that's 4 players they value above Vinicius. Now, I think for Vinicius, it's about feeling loved, and I think that Real Madrid aren't showing him that love, and I think he's starting to go, I need to go somewhere where I can feel that respect because what I've achieved for this club. I've won 2 Champions League finals. I've won a couple of leagues. I've been the guy that helped get this team back to where they want to be. And as soon as they could get shiny new toys, I've been brushed aside. Where's the love and support? So I think that's why he is going to go. I think he's going to sit there and go, I want to go somewhere. Maybe, new challenge time. I want to go somewhere where I am going to get the love. Because respectfully, I know Arsenal have Saka and Rice and that. But Vinicius Jr. is a global superstar. Vinicius Jr. is a brand upon himself. It would be a different level if he come in. And like I said, he's the first superstar to join the Premier League for over a decade.
People in the chat need to go remind themselves of what Ancelotti thought of Ozil when he came. Like he wasn't a solidified guy to be in that 11, bro. You know what I'm saying? They just went and cashed out on Gareth Bale, right? Ozil himself had spoken about Wenger making him feel like the main man. That's one of the reasons why he went to Arsenal, bro, because he was going to be the main man. So these people that are saying, oh, he was in the world 11 and that, bro, go remind yourself of what Ancelotti was doing.
He was falling out of
favor.
Yeah, because of Bale, Di Maria. That was around the same time Di Maria was also falling out of favor, and a year later Di Maria was sold to United. We bought Di Maria for the same reason.
Ozil was Mourinho's lad. Ozil was Mourinho's number 10, and then Ancelotti coming and wanted a different thing from his midfield. He wanted 1, 6, and 2 more box-to-box guys, and Ozil didn't fit it.
Tom made a good point about obviously Vini coming to the Premier League, superstar, and also Arsenal having a superstar. I'm gonna say this now. Vini will be the biggest player that they've had globally since Henry. In terms of stature, since Henry, Arsenal have not had that guy.
But Henry became that at Arsenal.
I know Henry became that, but even with players that they've already got, like, Saka is obviously like well known, well liked globally, but like he ain't Vini Jr. level. You know what I mean? Vini Jr. will come in and literally he will be on par in terms of popularity with Henry, like he was back in the day. Staffy, what's your take on this? Do you think it will go through? Do you think it will happen?
I don't know if it will happen or not. I'm hearing very good points on why some people think he'll stay, why some people think he'll leave. I think my biggest understanding of all this, and also by speaking to Madrid fans, because if you guys know Will, who's been on the terrace before, he is a Madrid fan. So we actually had this discussion earlier in the week, and he was talking about Vini basically trying to value himself at Mbappe money because Mbappe makes more than him. Vini's the second highest paid player in the team, so he's trying to get that type of money, whether he gets offered that or not, or whether he's using Arsenal for leverage or not. There's very good points going either way. So if he stays or if he goes, I honestly don't know. The only thing I could talk about is, would he be a good fit or a good signing for Arsenal? That's the thing I'd like to focus on. And I'd like to take us back to the Champions League final, where I think most of us came out of that game. And the one thing we all concluded is that Arsenal need a bona fide superstar. I think that was undisputed that day. The way that they played was a little bit more inferior to how PSG played. And I think we all looked at that and said, maybe if they had someone who is a little bit more of a bigger threat, someone that you can put on the table when you're talking about Dembele and you're talking about Kvaratskhelia, and I think Vini does do that. So in terms of signings, I do look at this Arsenal team and I feel like they finally reached a point where they need to start signing players that are not just worried about Arteta's system and it's all about tracking back and being a part of the unit. If you want to take that next level and become that team that wins the major trophies and wins them back-to-back as well, because their aim is to win the league while trying to obviously get their first Champions League, I think Vini is the type of signing that should be going for. And I think that has to be an evolution of their team. Arteta, whether he realizes or not, I don't know. But I think he should be looking at this team and saying, it's time for me, especially because the way they just won the league, it's time for me to remove the shackles a little bit, maybe take us into the next phase of this team. And this next phase should be a little bit more of a attacking dominant team where I have the players on the pitch that can do the dirty work and can defend and do all that. But now I need to express ourselves a little bit more attackingly. Because I think if we look at last season and say, why did they win the league? I think you're pointing at the defensive department first, then the midfield, and then lastly, you're pointing on the attacking department. So if that's your focus, which I think should be your focus, you should be getting a superstar like Vini. And if that's, as I said, that should be the next evolution for them.
So do you, Staffy, do you think that if they don't get Vini, man, then do you think Jermaine Jackson ends up over there?
Jermaine Jackson?
Jermaine Jackson.
Do you think Jermaine ends up over there?
Who's Jermaine Jackson? Nico Jackson?
You're very familiar with Jermaine, bro. He gets payrolled every month from your club. Jermaine.
Oh, Jadon Sancho.
Sancho.
Oh, wait, who
are you
Marcus,
talking about?
Marcus.
Why'd you call him Jermaine Jackson?
Jermaine Jackson.
It looks like Jermaine Jackson.
What?
Cool name, man.
No, I don't think so. Even though every time him and Saka share the pitch, they actually look very good together.
Yeah,
so it's always gonna be one of those where it's like, I wish I watched him play a little bit more. But you know what it is? As much as I actually have a lot of love for Rashford as a United academy player, and we've basically watched him since his debut until now, I don't think Rashford is no longer that player. I don't think he should have ever been that player. But that player who comes in with a lot of expectations and you're the star of that team, I do think he's a lot more better than people speak about him now. They speak about him like he's a scrub. But I think the biggest downfall of Rashford was not really his technical ability. I think it's mainly been his mentality. every time I watch Rashford, he looks a lot more comfortable being a part of the team rather being the one that leads the team. You know, like if I could be the support cast to a top player, I think that's how Rashford looks.
Rashford's better off of being the Robin to someone's Batman and the Batman to someone's Robin.
And you know what? He can't even be the main Robin. He needs to be one of the Robins.
Isn't that what Saka's for? All doing it. What? We want 2 Robins.
What? So you
we really have to do a Saka thing today? Like, I don't feel like doing it today.
Forget Marcus Rashford. Don, are you saying that if Arsenal sign Vinicius Jr., Saka will be Robin to Vinicius' Batman?
100%. Wait, Don doesn't even need to say that.
They already say that.
Wait, is there any other world where Vinny is the Robin to Saka? Because I'd love to hear that.
No, maybe he's not Robin to Saka, but maybe he's like I don't know, part of the Justice League. Maybe he's the Flash or something. You know what I mean?
The idea of Vinicius Jr. leaving Real Madrid because he didn't feel loved and valued enough to then go to Arsenal and be told, "Listen, mate, you're Robin to Makayo."
I didn't like being behind Mbappe, so let me go be behind Saka. Come on, bro. I love Saka, but let's not.
He's taking that 7 then, yeah?
That's what I'm asking. Would they rip off the 7 to give it to my man?
I don't think they take the 7. Do you know what I think Vinicius does if he goes Arsenal? I think he goes for 14. I think Gyökeres changes his number and
what he takes.
Vinny yeah, because Vinny grew up wanting to be the next Henry. What are you doing here, Tom? Let's be real, man.
That, man.
Man, them are saying that their highest paid player, will then get demoted and his number gets taken off of him like that.
I mean, Mikailo had that happen to him, so you'd know all about it. And you're still high.
He was banned. He was banned. He wouldn't be able to play.
No, Gyökeres go to like 9. Because like
there's another option that we're not talking about. There's another option that we're not talking about as well. Yeah.
What is that?
We know that every year Mikel comes to the Chelsea Top Shop to get one of our players, bro. And it's usually CEX.
Don't say Pedro Neto, man.
I'm gonna say Pedro Neto, bro.
Oh,
you just said not to say Pedro Neto, man. Wait, come on.
Wait, are we saying Pedro Neto to Arsenal if they don't sign Vinny?
To play on the left.
It's a potential option. It's a potential option. Let's not act like you don't like shopping at Chelsea.
But don't you hear anything that I just said?
It's not going to be available, bro.
Wait, Don. They already.
No one thought they'd go for Madwyke, but they did. No one thought they'd go for Havertz, but they did.
Don, 1 second. They've already gotten over the hump. Okay, the hump that we always said they don't get over them. They finally gotten over it. If I'm expecting, or if I'm advising Mikel Arteta right now, I'm telling him, Mikel, I'm gonna be like, listen, you finally done it. It might have taken too long, but by hook or by crook, doesn't matter the method, you finally got over the hump. Now, for us to take the next level, which become a dominant team that continues to win, aka look at City of the last few years, we need to start making these type of signings. I'm not saying, hey, let's continue to do what took us forever to win our first league. Because let's be honest, they probably should have won the league a couple years too early, but they didn't. I'm not telling them, hey, let's go get Neto and just continue to do what we're doing, because they're not raising no level. They're not going into the Champions. Imagine they go into the Champions League final again. Hear me out. They're running to PSG again. Hear me out. They buck PSG again. Hold on. They buck PSG again. They were like, oh, you beat us last year. We're back. Who have you added to your team? Now, I don't know who PSG have added yet, but PSG tend to make some good signings. Okay, Arsenal, what have you done in this year? I sold Trossard and I bought Pedro Neto. I mean, what's his name?
Staffy, could you imagine the idea? It's the Champions League final. It's 1-1. 70 minutes ago. Arsenal
I'm bringing on Pedro Neto.
And then Pedro Neto and Madwyke coming off the bench.
Come on, what are we doing here? You've honestly, there's a very good case that you've gotten worse if you sold Trossard and your backup signing was Pedro Neto.
Staffy, Pedro Neto suits what Arteta wants to do to a T. Because he's going to run. He's going to run and defend. Run up and down. And what he's going to do is cross the ball, bro. That's what he does.
But I'm already talking about the evolution of Arteta's game. I'm not telling him to stay where he's at.
Let me explain why it's very plausible that it happens and why it makes sense. Because man think I'm just trolling when I'm really not, right? You lot are deluded if you don't understand the relationship between Chelsea and Arsenal, bro. Now, I'm not saying Pedro Neto to Arsenal is going to happen. I'm just saying that from the history between our clubs, from what we're hearing this summer as well, cool, Fez, you might want to, blow the bag for Vinny because that's Vinny. But let's say Vinny stays, right? Arsenal have already said, bro, there's a ceiling for certain man. If they go and buy Neto financially and to the club, they're gonna look at it like we're actually saving some bread here because we're still getting a Premier League proven player who suits what Mikel's trying to do, right? And we've not had to go and blow the bag because the guy that we wanted has gone. Rodgers has gone. Yeah. Ndai, hold on, Staffy. Let me just finish, bro. Ndai is going.
I didn't say anything. I'm listening.
It looks like you're about to say something there. Ndai looks like he's going to Saudi, right? So I'm actually not trolling, bro. I will not be surprised if Vini doesn't go to Arsenal and you see the links to Rashford heighten up and you see the links to potentially Neto heighten up as well.
If that's the case, Don.
Because they went and got Mudryk, right? No one expected that. They got Havertz. No one expected that. They got Mudryk last season. They ended up winning the league, Staffy. So whatever you say about, oh yeah, they've got over this hump and that, bro. They managed to do that with Mudryk in the squad. Yeah,
but they did. They won the league. I don't expect you.
So I would not be surprised at all if they go and sign Neto. They tried to sign him in the past, bro. It's not a new thing. You know what I mean? I'm not saying it's going to happen. I'm just saying I wouldn't be surprised.
One second, I've got a question for Don. So, do you not think that, even if they miss out on Vini, that the fact that they're even going for Vini is a sign that Mikel Arteta wants to change something about Arsenal and where they play? So, are you saying that Arteta and Arsenal are not going to evolve if they don't get Vini Jr.? They're just going to stick with the same thing.
I never said they're not going to evolve.
I'm asking because you was talking about Neto doing right back shifts.
I'm saying the talent pool. Yeah, well, Neto is going to help them defensively. Yes, the way Martinelli does on the left. If you didn't know, right? What I'm saying is the talent pool of left winger options is not 30 people, 20 people, even 15, even 5 really, right? The best ones you're looking at is Kvaratskhelia and Vini. You're not going to get Kvaratskhelia. And if Vini signs, you're now left with the guys that are just there. And I'm telling you now, Neto is going to have Premier League interest, bro. Apparently, Liverpool are looking at him too. You know what I'm saying? He's not going to go back mid-table. He's going to go to one of the top 6 teams, in my opinion. Yeah? I'm just saying that I wouldn't be surprised if it happens because it's not like we have seen this business between Arsenal and Chelsea multiple times. So man are going to get mad at me in the chat. Man are going to get angry. Man are going to say I'm just hating. I'm just calling it as it is. You lot don't want to be real. I'm the believing one, apparently.
I think you're saying what you want to happen rather than what should happen. And don't get me wrong, that would be ideal. Yeah, of course. Wouldn't you want that? Of course you would want that. I understand it. That would be perfect. I'll be honest, bro. I doubt they let Trossard go to replace him with the quality of Neto. Because I don't see how you're progressing at a club if you're not upgrading as you go. You're not upgrading the way you recruit. Because Arsenal of today are not Arsenal of 2 years ago, or not Arsenal of 3 years ago, or not Arsenal of 4 years ago. It's like a guy finally getting his first girl, and then after a year of being with a girl, he gained no experience, and he's still talking to women like he's a virgin. You maybe would have been a virgin a year ago, but you're not a virgin now. I just don't think it's the same thing.
I think if they don't get Vini, you tell me who they should go and get then. If they don't get Vini, tell me.
Okay, so that's a different question. And I'll be honest, if they don't get Vini, the problem is I don't think the left wing market this season is that great. Vini, to me, shouldn't even be on the market. The only reason he's on the market is because he's a market opportunity. There's issues going on with a club, so that just made him available. In an ideal world, Vini's not for sale in Madrid. He's probably locked in for the next 5 years. You tend to now go and see who's available. You find yourself talking about Barcolas and Diamandes. Now, I've spoken of Barcola before. The thing is, these guys are way too expensive. The winger market is honestly, it's crazy. Over 100 mil for Diamande, who's allergic to GNA. Over 100 mil for Barcola, who's allergic to end product. It's not a great market. If they miss out on Vini and they have to settle, what?
Man said, whoa!
Don't bring my guy into this. You slag off Diamanda, yeah, but Barcola.
Well, you haven't bought him yet, so I'm slagging him off.
Oh, that's another option there, Staffy. Staffy, let me ask you a question. Do you believe that Barcola is going to Liverpool?
I don't know. If you're telling me as Arsenal who's the alternative, I'd much rather pivot from a Vini to like Ismail Assar than to do it with a Neto. Because at least with
not a left winger.
Yeah, but you're still looking at someone in the front 3, so you can at least justify that a little bit more.
Here's some options I got for you.
And he's still going to cost spread. Still going to cost spread.
Here's some options I got for you. You got Yildiz. Would you say Yildiz? Would you say
Yildiz is going to cost over 100 million? And
signing a Greek and a Turk in the same summer. I don't know if this.
Beef and they played the same side as well. Yeah, beef is happening.
I don't know, bro.
You got Nico Williams.
Yeah.
Nico Williams. I mean, it could go back.
Oh my God! Again, we're revisiting that guy. Wallah, that guy is basura, bro. Like,
Bro,
just
KJ,
you gotta stop talking about him.
Utd's just signed a new contract in February of this year, bro. Which means that he's gonna be comfortably over 100 million, especially in this market, bro.
Vinicius is
Right?
going to be over 100 million.
That's Vini though, Tom. That's Vini. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
That's Vini.
you pay that money. You pay that money. You got Nusa from Red Bull Leipzig, Norway. He had a good World Cup.
Yeah, good player, but he's not Vinny.
Yeah,
Leao,
He's not Vini.
Rafael Leao.
Leao's second at another one.
You think Arteta's gonna touch Leao?
But why would
Leao,
but
it's
why would he
time
touch
to
Vini
learn
then?
Turkish or Arabic.
Yeah, ain't touching Leao. That guy's gonna go flip kebabs.
But see, now you guys are gonna make Arsenal fans lose their shit, because to pivot from Vinny to some of these names that we mentioned, I'm not gonna lie, bro. It's horrible. It is horrible.
But Staffy, that's what I'm saying. People think I'm trolling. I'm just being real, bro. The left wing market is a drought of top talent, bro. Everyone that you're looking at on that side is potential. Is
fuck, man. You know what? Now you might have convinced me. They might get Neto. Fuck.
Bro,
now I'm trying to think, bro. Like, yeah, the options aren't great.
Bro, Neto has been known now for a while. Very similar to Mudryk. Was going with Mudryk. We found out weeks before the season finished that the club are potentially open to selling him, bro. Right? I'm just going off of the past relationship we've got with Arsenal. The fact that his Premier League experience, bro. He's been fit for a minute, and when I watch him, I'm like, yo, he plays like how Arteta wants his wingers to play. So I'm not even trolling. I'm being honest. You know what I mean?
If we're all trying to shift our wingers to Arsenal, can I have a go at selling them Gakpo?
Look at the might as well buy Savinho or Marmoush, bro. You know what I mean?
I'll be honest. If they're presented with Neto, Rashford, and Gakpo's probably one of the fucking better options there.
No, you're taking Rashford, bro.
Let me say something to you, Staffy, bro. Arsenal right now would kill for Rio and Gomua, bro. And Rio is a guy who is that's what I'm saying. That's where football is right now. If they had a levels left winger, they'll be like, oh yeah, Rio's a good player, but at least we've still got my man. But what I'm saying is, because the left wing market is just dire, someone like Rio right now would be like, wow, like, you guys want to say? Because the market isn't levels on the left.
I think
Don,
could
they go for Mudryk? Could they go? He's unbanned.
No, not my Mudryk. No, not my Mudryk.
No, we got some super chat to go through, guys. Like you said, Staffy, Don can sell salt to snails, because how we convince you that Pedro Neto might be worth it? Like, it's crazy.
No, because you know what it is. I do see. If I'm being honest with you, KJ, I do see a scenario where Arsenal trial somewhere to get Vinny. But at the end of the day, like, if they don't get him, I don't think it's going to be their fault. It's going to be because Vinny finally got the money he wanted in Madrid. So I'm not going to blame Arsenal for that. They can go and do all the best recruitment, give him the best sales pitch. But if he stays in Madrid, there's so much you could do. But I'm just looking at it. There's going to be a quick reaction, and they need to pivot quickly. And what I think they'll do is they'll just pick up someone from the league so far that maybe it's not their long-term plan, but someone who's going to be here for maybe the next couple of years. And it's going to be one of those quick, easy buys. When I'm looking at that, I got to look at who's in the Premier League right now. I don't think it will be Pedro Neto, but I guess like it will be an option. I just think it would be very underwhelming if they do that. Like, I'd rather go for like Indai first or something like that before I go to Chelsea.
That's another option as well there. But yeah,
he's got Saudi, bro. He's got the big box in Saudi.
Yeah, hey, go get your.
I'd rather go get Sar and play him on the left, because Sar can play on the left.
Bro, maybe Nelson Arch. Maybe it's Nelson. Maybe it's time to
listen, someone. Stop. We're going to the super chats. I want to stop.
Man.
I'm going to mute you, man. I'm going to the super chat. So big up everyone in the chat. Make sure you're subscribing to the Football Terrace. Super chat time now. People, first of all, we've got man like KD Venus says, Cole must love Hendo for taking his World Cup place. It says that there. Gyok9 says, Don ignored all KJ's facts and told us his feelings. I think that was about Mudryk, if I believe so.
Mudryk could go on loan to maybe a Strasbourg. I'm just saying that it's good that he's actually coming to the team in pre-season, not mid-season where it's like, yo, it's hard, bro. Now man's actually in pre-season, bro. So let's see what happens.
Don AMT says, Don, you're being scared. So you're saying copium?
Why would I be scared, bro? Like, I'm just being.
I think he meant to say scarred, like you're scarred, so you're coping. I don't know.
No, I think he actually means scared.
I'm saying
what? Like, what do you mean? I don't get it. If it don't matter it could have been United after Vini. It could have been Chelsea after Vini. My take would still be the same about him staying at Real Madrid. I don't see him leaving, personally.
You got Don is so rattled. Did you just not hear the report saying that they aren't improving the offer? The guy is funny, and Mbappe is left wing. Also, Diamande right wing.
Yeah, I've documented that. So let's see if he actually, denies that offer.
We need documented it.
You're paralegal. You and Don are paralegal.
I've documented it, bro. Because man's talking about
a lawyer now.
Have you not seen the reports, bro? Did you just start watching football last week, bro? This is what happens. You get these counter reports all the time when it comes to contracts, big contracts like this, especially. Let's wait and see.
Don said AMT says Arteta will make Vini his main man, though. I think he would.
Of course he should.
Low key, Don can't wait to have Vini in his FPL. Hey, listen, Don's running Vini on his FPL, bro.
No, I'm running Rodgers. I'm running Rodgers. How about that?
How much would Vini cost in FPL?
Oh, how much is a Haaland?
If Haaland is 15,
I reckon they'd make Vini like 14.
Yeah, 14.
Yeah, like 13 and a half, 14.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I'll probably say maybe 12, 13, yeah.
12.
SMRKC says they can't give Vini a big contract because Real want Haaland and Olise next summer. I think he's joining Arsenal. Bruno and Vini, they need this. Okay,
I literally said in my review that Arsenal haven't really got like a Brazilian contingency, bro. Like apart from Silva, you look at Edu, bro. Edu was just there, innit? Like they haven't really had like a core full of Brazilians at their club that have actually gone on to win a lot. So if they sign Vini and Bruno, that could start their little Brazilian, contingency, bro. Because you look at Chelsea, we've got bare Brazilians that won a lot of our club. You know what I mean? Like David Luiz, Ramirez, Oscar. You've got Thiago Silva, bro. Even if you want to talk about Jorginho and Costa, they're actually Brazilian. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I said. I said, bro, if they sign Vini and Bruno, that will actually be good for that will bring more Brazilian fans, in fact, for one, and it could start like a Brazilian contingency at the club.
Brazilian core. AMT's back. Is Arsenal are defending champs. Why now? I think someone said, why would he buy Chelsea players now?
Bro, regardless of the circumstances, Chelsea can finish 12th. You wanted Havertz. Chelsea finished 4th. You wanted Mudryk. Chelsea finished 10th. It won't surprise me if you want Neto. It don't matter what the circumstances are. You like our club. Your manager likes shopping at our club.
Okay. Don talking out his ass by this time previous in Windows, we would have been linked with a Chelsea player, even if we don't want to sign Vini, Greek freak donking. He's talking about Zalis will be a good signing for Arsenal. Don, where you dropped when you were a baby? You're giving Homer Simpson. Jojo.
You're not Jojo. What? You're not actually people like this, bro. You're not actually responding to what I said. You're just trying to cuss me personally, bro. So that shows me that you've got no response to what I'm saying, bro. How about you actually respond to what I said?
We got Don AFC again says the signing Chelsea players jokes don't hit the same. It don't. To be fair, if they sign Chelsea player now,
why are you not saying that?
Arsenal had their glow up already. I'm sorry, bro.
Yeah,
bro. We've got a few more evidence for you to say. I think they've moved on now. What are we doing? Bro.
Eze will be the left if nobody. So Eze will play.
That's fantastic. We want that. That's what we like to see.
Joshua Jack says, saw a United fan talk about the club lack of standards. The same individuals that back Amorim to the hill and wanted Maney sold. They're still fighting this war. Hey, listen, Man United fans, standards FC, Amorim sexuals, all these things. It's 2026, man. We need to let it go, man.
I'm not interested in any United civil wars this summer. I'm an NBA champion. I've been touching grass, and I advise everyone else to touch grass. The season starts in 3 weeks. We'll worry about that then.
Madrid just signed a 6'4" striker, by the way, Don Big Waffler or Don B Waffler.
What's that got to do with anything? I don't get that.
I don't get that one.
Does that 6 foot striker?
By the way, that actually reminds me. You guys know Endrick is for sale now. We should all be on this Endrick sign.
Is man going to take Vinny's position now or something? I don't get it. Maybe go to Endrick. Maybe go to Endrick now. You don't want Gyökeres. Go to Endrick. That makes more sense because Arsenal big club. Endrick again is on the fringes. Ozil type situation. Go get him.
Bro, I want Endrick, bro. United, if you're listening, Endrick. Put him on the big screen, KJ.
There you go.
And United, go get Endrick right now. Market opportunity. Forget everything else. Go get Hendrick, please.
There we go.
All
That is from Staffy.
I'll have him as
I
well.
think that's more realistic.
Go on, Tom. What's your message, Tom?
Tottenham by Gakpo and we'll take Hendrick.
Nope.
You're done. No. What's your message?
Your turn to sell Chelsea.
We already got the best player for that team. It's damn out. You know what I'm saying, bro? I don't need Hendrick. You know?
Boo! Hey, boom! Staffy.
You know what? Hold on, man. Where's the boo?
Yeah, boo, man. Awful. Don AFC is back again saying low budget Akon from Sheen just waffling.
Again, you haven't directly responded to what I said. So you're rattled. You lot are so rattled, bro.
Low budget Akon is crazy. What the heck?
He's
Why
actually
would you
hurt.
say that?
He's actually hurt, bro. It hurts
Why would you say that?
The truth hurts them, KJ, bro.
Just to finish off the show, we know Don has a great friend in Ryan from our Legend Super Chat. So he's obviously sent in the weekly Don AI video photos. So let's see what we got here. So first,
it's gonna be all four of us again. I'm tired of being AI'd every week, man.
So first one is me and Staffy laughing at Chelsea, Tom praying for Barcola to come through the door, and Don look like he's crying. Why
does Terry look Egyptian? Terry's looking Egyptian on that side, bro. What's going on?
That's not Terry.
Is that you, Staffy?
That's Staffy.
That's me, bro.
What the fuck is that? That does not look like Staffy.
Sorry. Before we address the whole world back in Henderson,
why does he just say Sancho?
I was about to ask why Staffy got a Sancho shirt.
Why is it saying Sancho? And I appreciate the plaque. This guy's predicting me to get 100K. But what the fuck does that jersey say Sancho?
KJ is the only one that looks like himself. I don't know what the hell that is.
I love it. I love to see it.
That guy's looking like Bashi, bro. Yeah, I don't know what.
Bro, I look light skin over there. He changed my whole race.
You do look.
He looks like Terry, bro.
I look like a Dominican dad.
and then Tom's looking like Stan, bro. Eminem's boy, bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's no way. Tom, are you actually praying for Barcola?
And there I am, yeah.
And then we've got another one.
I look light skin. He changed my race there.
Yeah, we got another one here for Don's obsession with Arsenal.
He looks like he's plotting something. He looks like he's plotting something. It looks like he's in an evil lab.
I think that might be the best one.
That was a good one. That actually looks like that's a good one.
You know what that is? Amazing. That is Don cosplaying to be an Arsenal fan, and he's on a video call with Arsenal as they're taking fan opinion, and he's like, sign Pedro Neto. We need Pedro Neto. And he showed all that shit behind him so they believe he's an Arsenal fan.
You know what? I thought I'd have a little bit of fun today, people. You know, I'm low key rage baiting at times and I'm being serious at times too. But honestly, go check out my Vini take on my channel, yeah, and you'll see how balanced I am. Because these lot think you just hate Arsenal. It's a boring narrative, bro. Yeah, I remember when City signed Semenyo and Gahey, I was literally here defending them, saying, "Yo, I don't think that guarantees City the league. I still need to see Semenyo and these man actually do something. It's not KDB and that anymore. I think Arsenal will still do it. It's only towards the end where I said, yo, I think City will probably do it because they were playing better football. Then the Everton game came, they fell off. You know what I mean? So me, bro, I just call it as I see it. You
don't forget all that. Forget all that.
We got two more super chats. We got two more.
You don't like it when it's a little bit of negativity.
All right, I have one last question when you're done, KJ.
Yeah, we got two more super chats. We got Joshua back here said, Tom, did Henderson ruin his Liverpool legacy by moving
I don't
to?
care.
Well, no, that's a great super
chat. I
chat.
don't care about him. I stopped caring about Henderson ages ago. It's funny to me.
Did you see what AGT said? He basically said that Henderson now he's considering him like he's some type of snake, basically. Like his legacy, he ruined his legacy at Liverpool. No, I'm not even joking. AGT said that, and I couldn't believe it. As if you guys are in Chelsea are like proper rivals, like you and United or you and Everton.
No, but you know what? I would understand if Henderson was A, leaving directly from us, and B, any fucking good still. Like,
yeah,
he's not going to touch the pitch. Henderson's just joined Chelsea. I wasn't angry when Pep Linders joined Man City as the coaching staff. I can't be angry when Jordan Henderson joined Chelsea as super nanny.
Yeah, bro. It's like when I heard that, and I'm like, hold on a minute. So like Liverpool players can't join Madrid, can't join, obviously, United like Owen did. They can't join Everton. They can't join Chelsea. It's like if you leave Liverpool, you're not allowed to join anyone else. Like you have to leave for either go to the Championship or go to the MLS, I guess. Like if you don't go to any of those two,
retire. Or
retire. Like
because you're getting bullets.
I don't get it, bro. It's like you never walk alone until they decide, like, oh, you join another team. Now you're walking alone.
Yeah, 100%. Goon for whoa. Yo, you need to change your name there, mate. Goon for life, Wayne. Yeah, you need to change that, my boy. You know what I mean?
What do you mean? Yeah, well, read it. Actually, let me read it.
So, shows
that Don lacks knowledge. You mentioned the 6'4" striker because that can shift Mbappe front striker to left wing dreamer guy slow. Bro, that guy's not starting. What are you talking about? You think they're gonna move my man, put Mbappe on the left to put Vini on the bench? You are delusional, my friend. That is not happening.
And AMT back in here saying it was the Benitez Mourinho debacle. That's why. Is he talking about Ozil? What is he talking about?
I think it is.
Or is he talking about Liverpool and Chelsea?
Again, Great rivalry. It was 20 years ago. I don't know what relevance that has to Jordan Henderson joining Chelsea.
Exactly, Tom. You know, there could be existing rivalries at the time where like two teams went for a title for a couple years and then the rivalry dies because there's no history to it. Like United and Liverpool, we don't have to go for titles to be rivals. But like if United, I don't know, compete for the league next season with like Chelsea, we'll be rivals at the moment. The minute we stop competing, we're not rivals.
The thing is, Staffy, Liverpool and United, they're going to have a rivalry because of like geography as well. It's two working.
Yeah, because of history. Like it goes beyond politics. Yeah.
With us and Chelsea, the rivalry started because Chelsea got oil money and we didn't. And then there was a couple of years of and then there was a couple of years of Champions League matches. But we haven't been competing on. We have like the cup finals on the Tuchel, which was like the little sort of rebirth of it for the bit.
Yeah.
But the reality is, we haven't been rivals like that for a while because when you've been good, we haven't been. When we've been good, you haven't been consistently enough for us to.
No, it's not like
I don't like Chelsea. I don't like this, but you're not a rival like that. I don't.
No, I get it. I
don't look for your fixtures like I look for United or Everton.
I hear what you're saying, Tom. What I said is we've got a lot of history, is what I said, right? Because if you go look at the team that Chelsea beat, to get into the Champions League before Roman bought us, it was Liverpool, bro. Liverpool actually helped us, look more attractive to Roman to buy Chelsea, bro. You go talk about those games in the Champions League. Gerrard slipping, one of the biggest moments we've seen in the Premier League was literally against Chelsea. And Mourinho, that was ill. He wasn't even going to manage that game, So I'm just saying that we've crossed paths, Tom. A lot of Klopp's trophies were mainly won against Chelsea. You know what I'm saying? Like, so that's what I'm saying. There's something there. It's not been, Man United Liverpool rivalry.
Yeah,
but I'm just saying there's been a lot of history.
Even when you're talking about like you bought players off us before, you bought Torres, you bought Morelos, etc. We bought Sturridge off.
Did we sell you Joe Cole? We sold you. Did he go straight?
No, we got him on a free.
From France, didn't it?
Awful. He went to the league afterwards.
But it's one of those ones.
Even then, that carries more weight than what Henderson's done, which is do a sad ass retirement tour and then end up at Chelsea on a super nanny contract. I'm not bothered.
Guys, guys in the chat. Once I need to address something in the chat. There is no Ornstein Barcola news. Like whoever started that in the chat is just capping. So don't worry about it. So also we got in the word of Jose Eusebio was black. We're not racist. What?
That was what Jose said at Benfica about the Vinicius thing.
No, I don't get that. But
I'm trying to apply it to whatever's going on here, and I don't see the context. Like, what is this?
No idea.
He just read a random quote.
I don't know where that's from, but okay.
Like I'd like to apply that, but I just don't. I don't understand how.
Yeah, but anyway, guys, we've gone to the end of the show. Hope you had a good time. I've had a fantastic.
Wait, KJ, I had one last question before we go.
Oh yeah,
done. Cool. If Vini goes to Arsenal, which signing is better? Vini going to Arsenal or Rodgers going to Chelsea?
Vini going to Arsenal, bro. I think it suits them more, and he's obviously bigger in his career, obviously. So.
You like that.
I just wanted to test your level of the objectiveness to rage bait because you said you've been a little bit rage baity today.
No, I think Rodgers is still a very good signing, but I think Vini suits their left wing more.
So apparently there's a fake Ornstein account posting news of people falling for it. But yeah, don't worry about that. On that note, with the applause of Don being not shameless for once, we love to see it.
It's only because we didn't ask about Vinicius or Mudryk. That one we were on a pause there whilst he figured that one out. When Mudryk gets
Why do you want to ask a difficult question, Tom? I wanted to make it easy, so I clicked Rogers.
We are going to be heading out here. Make sure you guys subscribe to the Football Terrace. We've had a fantastic time. We're on the road to 500k. Make sure you subscribe. We're almost there. That your support will be much liked and helped. And I'm tired. I'm hungry. Listen, subscribe to the Football Terrace. Also, like the stream and make sure you share it out to all the people out there. We'll be back tomorrow live after Chelsea versus Spurs, Man United versus Atletico Madrid, and Arsenal versus whoever they're playing in their preseason game. We've got 3 preseason games, live match reactions for you coming tomorrow as well. So I'd love you guys to come and join us there. Terry will also be back with some more recorded content throughout the weekend, and he's also back on Monday. The return of what should we call him? We can't call him Terry Nahi because that's a bit too far. But
the return of Terry.
So Terry will be back on Monday for some live streams with you guys. But until then, you got me for the weekend. Hope you guys have enjoyed it. Watch out, guys. Vinicius Jr. might be joining Arsenal, and Don's favorite player ever moves back in the Premier League. We need to be worried. See you guys later.